Hi, this is DJ Honeyflow. How you guys doing for my talk show on a Wednesday night? Hope you guys are doing well and can hear me fine out here. Just adjusting some equipment. Welcome YouTube and also Facebook. Good to see you guys. Definitely leave a comment. Let me know if you're watching from YouTube or Facebook. I know sometimes it's quiet there, but I heard that actually people are watching from there. So it would be really nice to see you guys. Drop some comments from Facebook, and hopefully I could see them, Facebook and YouTube as well. And you're going to see most of the comments here on Twitch. It's a free streaming app. So make sure you guys definitely make your way down to Twitch. It's twitch.tv/DJ Honeyflow. And we're going to have a really great, amazing guest on, you guys. He's a streamer. He's a DJ. He's always supported my show as well, which I'm so grateful of. Really great guy, really nice guy. Can't wait to hopefully connect with him. I heard he's coming down to Toronto for the Scratch Bastard event that's coming up. A lot of people are actually coming, and it's probably going to be sold out. So I'll have to talk to him about that. But let's bring in DJ Ronlove all the way from Detroit, you guys. We're going to hear all about his experience and just everything he's done online and offline, and what's it like in Detroit as well. So let's bring in DJ Ronlove. Make sure you guys say hi to him as well. All right. Hey, how you doing?
Hello. Good evening.
Doing
well.
Doing well? Okay, awesome. Oh, hopefully it's not freezing from my end. You're listening to me through StreamYards, you mentioned, right? It sounds like there's a bit of a delay between us.
Yes, I am.
Okay. I wonder why. Okay. Well, we'll keep it going
There was
anyways.
a little glitch
I like your
happened
threes.
as soon as you came to me.
Okay. I am using a new computer, so I'm hoping that this doesn't freeze. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, so you are from Detroit. Were you born and raised in Detroit?
Yep. Yeah. I was born and raised East Side, Detroit. Been
Oh,
here
okay. What?
all my life. I live in Metro Detroit now, so not actually in the city limits, but it's a few miles away.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, I interviewed. I think you saw some interviews. I've interviewed a few people from Detroit as well. So the Force, I don't know if you've met them, got a chance to meet some of them, and DJ T Rail, I
I
believe
have.
he's from the
I,
Detroit area.
I have. Yes. Yeah. We do
Okay.
a lot of weekly streams or raid trains together.
Oh, I actually didn't know that. Okay, that's nice. That's awesome. So did they have any Twitch groups up there in Detroit at all?
They had they had kind of a meet of several Twitch DJs last year. I want to say October, September, something like that. And that's where I first met in person a few DJs. DJ
Oh,
DeForce and T Rail were there, but I think I actually met him maybe a couple of weeks before that in
oh,
person.
nice.
But there was a couple of um, DJs there that stream on Twitch. I'm trying to think of some of them. I'm drawing a blank because I guess I'm kind of nervous.
Hmm.
But DJ Richie Rich, he came in there.
Oh, is
Uh,
he's not, is he from Detroit? I thought he was from Ohio or something.
no, he's here.
Oh, I had no idea. Okay. All right. Okay, nice. I like your Three's Company living room. I remember that back in the
Ah,
day. It's like a
you're dating
trademark.
yourself.
I know,
Dating
I'm
yourself.
dating myself. I know. How old is the program? Like what, 40 years old? I
It
think
was,
everyone
I,
it's
it
yeah.
was one of my favorite shows growing up. I was going to use this as a set background for when I DJ. I just hadn't gotten the chance to use it yet, but I figure, yeah, why not? Why
You
not
should
tonight?
use it. No one's using it, you know? Yeah, those were great shows. Oh, what about Who's the Boss? That actually looks like Who's the Boss set too. You remember Who's the Boss? That was my
Yeah, I
favorite.
do. So
Yeah.
any moment you're waiting for Larry to come in, asking to go to the Regal Beagle.
Yeah. Oh, man. Or Friends, that was a really good show. Oh, man. If you guys have any great shows that you remember, drop them in the chat. Hey, DJ Daja, great show the other night. Ooh, we got
Hey,
James
DJ Dodger.
Robbie live from Facebook. Oh, that's good.
Hey, James.
Uh, First person to
Salute,
drop a comment on Facebook. I love that. James Robbie, are you a Twitcher?
Ruby.
Roby? Oh, you guys know each other?
Yeah, high school buddy. Yeah, high school buddy of mine.
Mhm.
We met in high school, so been years friends ever since.
Oh, nice. So are you actually streaming? Did you click the link to stream to your Facebook or to stream to Twitch?
When I stream, I do Twitch, and sometimes I do Facebook. I started on Facebook when first started this DJing online, and of course, like a lot of people, they were cutting people off. So then eventually I joined Twitch, and
Yeah.
sometimes I'll do Facebook at the same time. When I do Twitch, and I usually do that on whenever I do a Sunday gospel show,
Mhm.
and I'll stream to my personal Facebook page
Oh, okay.
at the
Or I
same
mean
time.
right now, did you stream are you streaming to your Facebook page right
Oh,
now?
right
The
now,
chat
no, I'm
to
not.
Oh, so
No, I'm
I'm
not.
saying who's coming in. So I wonder,
They're
James,
going
are
on
you
to your Facebook page, probably.
Oh, James
Most
Robbie, are
likely.
you on my Facebook page? Let me know. Drop me a comment, let me know. Okay, and he also says Living Single. Oh yeah, that was such a good show.
Yeah.
Living Single, Girlfriends, The Game. But that was probably more 2010 maybe? Was Living Single back in the 90s, guys? What do you think? I don't
Mm,
remember. I thought it was
90s or
like
early 2000s.
Living Color and Living Color. Weren't those a lot later?
Oh, that's 90s. Living Color was in the
Oh,
90s.
was it?
Yeah.
Hey,
DJ
DJ
Epidemics did
Epidemic.
90s.
How you doing? He says 90s. Oh, yes, and it's still on TV1. You know what I did, Daja and Epidemic? I think a while ago, I was just watching Who's the Boss reruns. They just kept showing, I can't remember where it was. They just kept showing up. So I spent like the whole day just watching the series. I'm like, you know what? There was some really amazing writers and producers on those shows because I heard like even with Friends, they would just write it also as they went, like, a lot of things weren't just all scripted. I don't know if that's true, but that's pretty incredible, right? That takes a lot of talent to keep it going and the story theme going, right?
Yeah, I was a huge TV fan growing up. That might have been another an alternate parent that I had.
Oh, yeah? Nice.
So watched a
And
lot of TV.
yeah, isn't it crazy how they stretched out the storylines, you guys? Like, when you watch Friends, they stretched out Ross and Rachel for, like, what, 6 years? And there was always like, "Oh my gosh, you want them back together again. Like, you want this happening," right? And they just kept stretching it out, like bad breakups, almost getting together, not getting together, then getting together. I don't know, I remember that. And I feel like Who's the Boss was like that with what's her name? Angela and Tony? Was it?
Yeah, yeah. I think they eventually got married, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, really? Did they get married in real life?
But
Do you
it's
know?
no, I mean
Oh.
to each other. No, I mean on the show.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he was a good-looking guy. I have to admit, Tony, he was a pretty good-looking guy, you know? So, you're like,
He's
I
his
don't know.
own.
What could I say about that? Bronx Harlem
Not
girl, how
quite
you
my type, but
not quite your type. Well, you better say no one's your type because 'cause you're married, so you better not
right,
say anyone's your type, unless if you
right,
start
right.
with your wife's type first, you know? Yeah, actually, do
Of
you
course.
have a celebrity? If we can go in aisle 2 a little bit. I'm just curious, does your family or your wife watch your shows or not really?
Not much. Every blue moon they'll surprise me and click on, but she's I have to remind her. She doesn't even have a Twitch login, so
Okay.
she doesn't get reminders or anything, and can't make any comments when she is watching.
Oh, okay, I see. Okay, that's not, yeah, I always find that there's either one spouse or partner that is really heavy involved in Twitch and the other one, like, just isn't, you know? Or you get the flip side with DJ T-Rail and his wifey, in that interview where they're together, streaming together, which I always love as well,
Yeah, that's
couples stream.
cool.
'Cause there's
I you
always
know
friction, I feel like even with my friends that are DJs and then their partners, they're like, "I don't understand this Twitch thing, like, why is he so into the music?" Like, it gets very irritating for them, but we get it, like, I could talk to like, hours with them because we understand how much work it is streaming, right?
yeah, and it's work, but it's fun too. So it's that's the part that she sees. She sees me having fun when I'm doing it. So
Okay,
Um,
yeah,
I
that's
always
good.
thought it would be cool if she would like join me because there are a couple of DJs that have their wife with them, and it's enjoyable to even to watch,
Mhm.
their interaction.
Would she do it
But
or is
she was
she
no,
more
she was like,
introverted,
no.
like, forget it?
She's not introverted, but she's not trying to be
All on
on
camera.
TV or camera. Yeah, nah, that's not
Oh, okay.
her.
Just stick
And
her behind the plant.
she's not as
Stick
big
her
of a music fan as I am.
Oh, she isn't. Stick her behind the plant around there. She could peek through the plant like,
Right.
your Three's Company theme. She could walk through the door. You think that women aren't watching. Let me tell you, DJ Ron Love. You think that they may not be watching, but I'm sure she peeks in every once in a while, see what you're doing, and then
And she might.
leaves. Yeah. Oh, well. Anyways, how you guys doing? We got Bronx Harlem Girl in the building,
Hey,
DJ
Brock's Harlem girl.
Daja, great show the other night. Make sure you guys are adding him. And then we got DJ Epidemic. Make sure you're adding him as well. Bronx Harlem Girl, you don't do a show, do you? If you don't, you really should think about doing a show, I think. Because she's been around like for a little bit on Twitch too. So I think it would be
Hmm.
successful. Um, yeah. So going back from the very beginning, kind of what inspired you to get in to music and how old were you as well?
Into music, man, I love music ever since I can remember. So I grew up in the church. My parents go to was always taking us. My father was a minister, and we were in church all the time. There were times we would be in church 5, 6 days a week, 7 days if there's a revival going
Oh,
on.
shoot. Wow.
And so I always liked, as a young boy, I liked the um, the guy bands. They're called quartet groups, but they had the guys. They all wore the same color suits and whatnot, and guys play guitar, bass, and I just in all those guys. As a matter of fact, my parents used to sing in they made a my father made a singing group for church, and we would go to the radio station um, early Sunday mornings before church, and they would sing in their group, whenever they were invited down. So they would sing live on the radio, and there would be these guys, with the traveling whatever's, and they had the same colored powder blue suit on or whatever, and they would play they were a really nice band or whatever, and I was always really liked those guys, watching those guys. So I was a really big fan of live music from very early on. But then my just probably like most people's parents, they would play music and stuff growing, in the house. So, but that very first was gospel. I do distinctly remember an Al Green album being played, the one where he's in the Love and Happiness album with he's in the wicker chair, and that organ used to irk me, but they would listen to
Oh,
different kind
man.
of music.
That's amazing. Al Green was like one of the best shows I seen. I think I saw him in Vegas. Like he could beat
Oh
out
wow,
any new school artist, like some of those older guys, BB King, Al Green, like they got, you know, they were performing for like 5, 6 hours nonstop. So yeah, you gotta
wow.
give it up to the older guys. They could beat out any of the new artists. So that's interesting. You're like lately I've been interviewing a lot of PK kids, and for all you guys that don't know, that means a pastor's kid. So there seems to be a theme here. I don't know. Lately I think you're the fourth one I've interviewed where they're a PK kid, which is interesting. Um, you don't seem too crazy wild compared to DJ Big Al because he told me he was a pastor's kid. And then I said there was no hope for humanity after I interviewed DJ PK, our DJ Al, Big Al. I literally threw my papers out the window, like, and almost had a heart attack when I found out he was a PK kid.
Yeah,
um,
well,
so do you feel like I was bugging him though? I like kind of bugging some of those guys, but do you like was it kind of like hard? Do you get a lot of pressure growing up then, being like a pastor's kid and having to always do the right thing? Like, or did your family allow you to kind of make your own choices?
well, I didn't have that kind of pressure. I mean, my father wasn't the pastor like of the whole church. He was a minister, one of the
Mhm.
ministers on staff. So I didn't have that type of pressure like this is the pastor's kid, and everybody got to look up to you, and the model family type thing.
Mhm.
But he was serious about what he believed, and I always had different theories about because PK has like bad reputations, like pastors or preachers' children would you would think they would be one way, but they're always wild or whatever. But it's different. I know quite a few preachers' kids, and it depends. I think, well, of course, on the individual, we're all different
Mhm.
people,
And you
But
probably always
also,
go. Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
like I said, also though, when you are a minister's kid, you can see a lot of behind the scenes things. So you see the good, the bad, and the ugly. Quite frankly, and just like all preachers' kids are different, all
Mhm.
preachers are different. Some are more serious than others. So my theory
Mhm.
has been, well, maybe their preacher was kind of you know not consistent. My dad was always the same when he was at home or at church or whatever. He never put on airs or put on any type of show. That's who he was. So,
Oh, I love that. That's awesome. We got DJ Jonathan Lewis in the building. How you doing?
hey,
Good to
Jonathan
see you.
Lewis.
We got Bashy
Huh?
KD, great show the other day as well. She's always got such a radiating smile and energy about her as well. Make sure you guys are
Right.
adding Bashy KD. Have you seen her show?
Shout
It's
out to
good,
Bessie
great
KD.
show.
I have not. I see
Hmm.
her name a lot. I think does she mod or do you mod? I think I see her name a lot, but I don't
Yeah,
think I've
she
ever
mods.
seen
Sh
her
Is
show.
there anything you don't do, Bashy KD? A doctor, modding, a
Oh wow,
show, a DJ now. So yeah, she's definitely doing it all, you know.
that's
Um,
cool.
Bashi, are you going to the Scratch Bastard event as well? I know DJ Ronlove's gonna be driving out there for that. I kinda actually wish I would have maybe gotten a ticket, but I felt like it was a little pricey right now for me right now because you had to do the 2 days. You couldn't just do the 1 day, right? I think you had to buy the whole weekend, was it?
Yeah, I think so. It only
Yeah.
had the one price there, so
Oh, yeah.
afterwards it did. I mean, it did say weekend pass, but I think I'm only gonna go one day anyway. But
Oh.
yeah,
Oh. Hey, well, if you're only going 1 day, then give me the remainder of your weekend pass. If you're skipping it, I'll grab it from you then. Yeah, I didn't really wanna go both days, I just wanted to go 1 day, but it's a little pricey. And plus, DJ Daja, Bashi, we know that the Americans pretty much get it, like, for free, or you guys get it half off because your dollar's so good compared to ours. So,
is that different?
yeah, our dollar's so horrible.
I haven't looked in a long time.
Oh, yeah, I think it's what is it, like 60 cents or 50 cents now? I don't even know compared to your
Wow.
dollar, so, yeah, you'll be okay. So, if you wanna hook a sister up, it's up to you. I don't know if I'll
I don't know the
actually go though.
situation if it's wristbands or something on your phone. I don't know yet, but
Oh, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
maybe it could be that. Yeah, I would love to go if it was a bit cheaper. I think it was like 40 or 50. No, I think it was about $40 a few years ago when I went, and I thought that was still a little steep. Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Bash Katie's like sponsor a sister. It's true.
Well,
But
it's a
if
lot
not,
less expensive than the movement festivals that we have here in Detroit.
oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
techno. That's crazy
Oh,
expensive.
is it?
So that's
Oh,
yeah. It used to
wow.
be free. That's some of us older people remember when it was free. So it's hard to pay hundreds of dollars to get to go a place that you're used to going to for free.
For sure. I do
And you
find the concerts
actually hear the
cheaper.
music outside, but
Yeah, I do
it's
find the concerts cheaper in the States and more, like I went to Buffalo for, a concert. I think it was Tamia and Joe, and then I drove out to Syracuse recently for, Monica and Musique. But I love how your theaters are, like your Fox Theater. They're kinda like that. Like, they're very intimate, right? So, you could get the worst seat in the building and still feel like you're on stage with the artist. But in Toronto, it's not like that because you have the huge, massive arenas, right? So you're in like the nosebleed section, right? Like all the way up
hmm.
high. So do you guys have any concert or like big summer events like the Roots Picnic, how they do in Philly, or any like old school type of events out there? Be nice to check it out.
I'm not aware of. I mean, there's a amphitheater out that's outside, inside of Detroit. They renamed it since Aretha Franklin passed away. The Aretha Franklin Theater, and they have concerts there going on every week. But it's a concert. It's not like a party type thing.
Oh, okay. Have you guys ever done like a huge Motown? Because a lot of Motown artists are from Detroit, right? Like there's quite a few from there.
Oh yeah, it's Motown, Motor City. So yeah, most of those artists were from Detroit.
Oh, okay. Actually, what artists are from Detroit? Was it Aretha's from Detroit, right? Or Patty?
Aretha Franklin, Aretha
Mhm.
Franklin, um, Marvin Gaye, um, recently I found out
Temptation?
Rick James, The Temptations, yeah.
Oh, Rick James.
Um, who else?
If you guys know some artists,
Everybody,
drop it in the chat.
Stevie Wonder.
M,
This
Bronx,
to be
Harlem
easy,
says.
right? I might be losing my Detroit card. Oh yeah,
Mhm.
Eminem. Somebody put in Eminem. Kid Rock.
Oh,
Sherelle. Remember,
really?
Sherelle from Saturday Love with Alexander O'Neal?
Sherelle, really? Oh, I
Well,
didn't
she's
know
from
that.
Detroit. Yeah, she went to my the high school I went to, Cass Tech. Along with there's quite a few celebrities that went there to that high school. Diana Ross went to that high school.
Oh, sweet.
Of course, yeah, Diana Ross and the Supremes are from um, Detroit.
I feel
So
like the
yeah,
Music Hall
most of
of
the
Fame.
people,
Mhm.
yeah, most of the people in Motown were from Detroit.
Oh, nice. I feel like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame should be in Detroit. No offense to anyone in Ohio. Have you ever been there? It's amazing.
I
Like, if
haven't.
you're a music lover, you guys have to go there. Like, you'll spend at least 10 hours there. If you love music, it just goes through all the genres of music, rock, pop, gospel, hip hop, R&B, like, just everything. It's insane. You see their outfits, you see, like, Madonna and Prince and all that, like, writing their lyrics in a hotel room, and it's all, like everything's posted on in glasses and their outfits and everything. It's pretty cool.
That's cool.
So,
In Detroit,
yeah.
they have the Motown Museum,
Mhm.
Hitsville, USA, and it's actually a nice museum, nice tour. They recently built onto it and made it a lot bigger because they went actually to Barry Gordy's house, who was the house they were recording all the songs in, and you can go in and tour it. It's a real nice museum. I mean, it's a really good time. But since then, they've expanded it. So I haven't been there since they expanded it. So I'm
I'll have
curious
to
to see
check it out.
how much that. But
The
you see
Motown was
the actual
small, though.
dresses of the Supremes and the
Oh, yeah.
piano that certain guys, Stevie Wonder played, and you had this. They showed the actual instruments and things like that, and where certain songs were composed, and it's a real interesting trip if you're especially if you're interested in Motown, if you love the
Yeah.
music.
And they recorded in such a small house, like, with no air
Yeah.
conditioning. That's insane. Like, just you could tell that they're, like, obviously passionate musicians because it must have been really, really hot in there, and the house is pretty tiny too. Uh, but it's cool
Yeah,
that
it's
they kept it
not a big
alive.
house at all.
Well, it's much
Yeah.
bigger than Toronto, so, hey, I would take that house any day.
Yeah.
Th that little small house would sell for millions out here, you know? Um,
Wow, so you
yeah.
like that.
Oh, yeah, yeah, definitely like that out here for sure. Hey, we got King Melody in the building too. You said, "I'm
I was
looking for
smiling at his
Janet."
comments.
Sorry?
Yeah, I was laughing at his comment, looking for Janet and Chrissy.
Oh,
They're in the
man.
they're in the
Oh, yes, I forgot
they're in
their
the room.
names. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just remember Jack Tripper, and I forgot about Janet and Chrissy. Did they
Mhm.
ever all get to some well, I don't wanna say all of them get together, but was it like Friends with Jack Tripper? I don't remember.
On the show, yeah,
Were they kind
they were
of
just
together?
friends.
Oh, so they
Well, that was the
never
point. That was no, never. That was the point of the show, because they were just they were platonic friends. But to everyone else, whenever they heard about it, it was like this. There's got to be something going on.
You're gonna make me yeah, definitely wanna go back there and watch Three's Company. I haven't watched that, but it's like every day they would have right? Like, that's a lot of writing and a lot of storylines, like, every single day, right? What were some of your favorite sitcoms, you guys, growing up? Drop it in the chat. Let us know what your favorite sitcom is. I think someone said earlier, James said Living Single. We talked about Friends, Three's Company. What else? I liked Who's the Boss, that was my f one of my favorite shows,
Mhm.
and of course, like, Saved by the Bell, so
Seinfeld was my show.
I never got into Seinfeld, I never watched Seinfeld, actually, but I know a lot of people love Seinfeld. Maybe I have to go back and look and
I
see.
love Seinfeld, and I'm rare
Yeah.
because I'm obviously African American black, and a lot of black people didn't watch Seinfeld. A lot of my friends never watched. Black friends never watched it,
Mhm.
but that show cracked me up.
Oh,
And
yeah, The
that
Golden Girls. Did you watch The Golden Girls? Just admit it. I have a feeling you watched The Golden Girls.
not a lot. I've seen some episodes, but that wasn't like my show.
Okay.
It wasn't appointment TV. If it's on, I might watch it, but I never looked for the show.
Oh, King Melody says The Jeffersons.
Oh yeah,
I only
Jefferson's
watched a
dead.
few times. I don't think I watched The Jeffersons enough. Yeah. Oh,
Sanford and
wow.
Son.
Man, those were the
My
best shows.
father. That would be the show my father would laugh the hardest on was Sanford and Son.
Mhm.
He'd
Oh,
belly
man.
he'd belly laugh at that show.
Yes, The Cosby Show, watch that
Cosby,
all the time. The Cosby
Different
Show.
World.
Different World,
That
yes,
was
Different
perfect.
World. Oh, man, you guys are gonna make me go back after this show and start watching some of those, like, episodes and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, that was a given, right?
Yeah, Martin. You can't forget Martin.
Oh,
That was a great
yes,
show.
Martin. Yeah, so many great shows, I'm trying to think. In Living Color, yeah, there's so many. I wish they would come back or do some type of, you know? Or maybe have a sequel, like, even to movies, like, have a sequel to Love and Basketball or Love Jones, like, this would be a perfect time because I think that movie would be sold out, you know what I mean? Like, the '90s right now,
Mhm.
I think is a perfect time to make a comeback right now, and we see it with music, right? Like, a lot of
Yeah.
people, now.
Yeah, it's around. Yeah, it's like 20 years is like the perfect time where it's old enough for it to kind of return and be kind of a throwback, but it's not so old where it's like it's played out. So it's about 20 years is about the time frame where things were cool, right? In the 90s, everybody was having 70s parties and stuff like that.
Yeah, so
And
true, and if
so
you look at the '90s, like, everything's coming back, the styles and just every concert sold out, right? Like, everywhere you go, they're charging a killing rate now for those concerts. So, yeah, that would
oh
be
yeah.
definitely good. So, when did you actually start Twitch then? Like, what year was it that you started?
I started Twitch. Let me see, my anniversary. It'll be 3 years in December. It's 24. So I guess 2021. Yeah, 2021, December.
It goes by
December
so fast.
23rd. It was the
Wow.
day before Christmas Eve.
And did you know about Twitch, or did you just see kind of like DJs jumping on and that's how you kinda discovered it, or did you know it before?
Well, yeah, I know Twitch because I'm a gamer too. I never play games. Like I never stream. Well, I shouldn't say, how do I say this? I'm a Madden fan, a Madden gamer, and I play in Madden leagues. And part of what we have to do is stream our games for other guys in the league to watch. So I stream to them. I never like tried to stream for everybody, or advertise or anything like that. So I've been streaming on Twitch for over 10 years.
Oh, shoot, over 10
But
years?
it was with the gamer tag. So 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, when I started to DJ, I created a new account, but I never looked at Twitch for anything other than gaming until
Mhm.
2.5 years ago, and then somehow I stumbled across some DJs on Twitch. It was of course during COVID times, and so I started stumbling across DJs even just playing online, Facebook Live and stuff like that, and so it took maybe after I was shut off from Facebook. I quit Facebook because of the threats of shutting your accounts down and whatnot. I think about a year or so I didn't stream at all, and then somehow I guess I heard about maybe for some other DJs about Twitch, and I started watching Twitch, and then I started to I started to get on.
Oh, okay, so did it take you a while to kind of figure out everything? Like, just how to stream and how to set up everything and, you know
Yeah, yeah, it did. I was using my phone at first, and YouTube University is real. I
Mhm.
watched a lot of YouTube videos to find out how to do different things, and I'm good at trying to figuring out things myself. So a little bit of watching YouTube, a little bit of me trying things myself, and um, yeah, that's how I figured out how a lot of trial and error. Some of my first videos are quite embarrassing. I'm in my basement. I mean, I DJ in my basement now, but I would be in my basement with my camera and uh, my pajama pants on and stuff, and didn't know people could see I was in my pajama pants. It was like,
I think they all are. They're embarrassing for
yeah,
everyone. Doesn't matter if you're a large streamer or not. Like anyone that I've interviewed that's been a really crazy large streamer to a small one to medium size, they all say the same thing. Like they cringe when they
hmm
look at their first videos, you know. I think all of us have, right? But that's what makes it fun, like looking at the very first time. I
yeah,
remember being in my living room and I didn't have like a stand or a ring light. So I put boxes, I stack them up, and I'm only 5'1". So I put boxes higher than 5 feet. And then I tried putting the camera like, against something, like tried stacking it up so it would stand. And then you're playing
hmm
for like 5 hours and then you realize you were shut off like 2 minutes later, right? But you can't see anything because 'cause you're playing in the dark, and my camera just kept going, "Meow." It kept, like, dropping off the box like that, like, all the
oh
time. It
yeah.
was brutal. I think after the 20th try, I'm like, "Forget it. I'm done with this." Like, I'll just figure out some I gotta get a stand. Yeah, but you kinda learn a lot, right?
Yeah, and a couple times. Well, one time I was DJing, and I think I was on 20 minutes, almost a half an hour before somebody said, "There's no sound." I was like,
Oh,
"What?"
man. Don't you hate
you
when
know,
people just sit there and they don't even tell you? It's
like,
like they just
wow,
sit there watching, but they don't
yeah. I'm like,
they don't
all
say
this time was
anything.
no sound. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
Oh,
I look up
man.
and I said, "Oh yeah, there aren't any lights moving on OBS." So yeah.
Yeah. And so do you have, like, a memorable event that you remember, like, streaming? Anything that comes to mind, whether it's, like, a r big raid that came in or just anything that happened to you or someone you met in the chat room?
Well, one of the things I guess that just stood out when you asked that is on anniversary, my first anniversary on Twitch, I decided to do a 24-hour stream.
Oh, wow.
And that was interesting because the first time I ever heard of someone doing it was they did it for, I heard a DJ say they did it for their birthday.
Mhm.
And I remember thinking, like, man, can I do that? Do I even have enough music to play for 24 hours straight without repeating? And it was just like just so far out there, like this, there's no way I can do that. But as when the time was coming, I was like, I should try this for my anniversary. So I went and did it. I actually posted marathon because I didn't know if I could do a whole 24 hours. So I didn't want to commit to saying I'm gonna do 24 hours and then don't do it. But that was in my mind. I was like, I'm gonna try to do 24 hours, but I'm just gonna say marathon
Mhm.
uh, stream. And I made it. My wife was like, "Don't do it. You're not young like that anymore. You might not be able to handle it."
Oh, man.
She's afraid. And I was like, I'm gonna try it. I like a good
A
challenge,
lot.
so
That's a
I
lot. Like,
just
how
I
did you
did it.
feel after 20? Yeah, it's a huge accomplishment. How are you doing? She's first lady in the building. We got Urban Knight. And if you guys are
Hey,
on Facebook or YouTube or on another channel, we're at this channel on Twitch. So make your way down. You'll see the chat room, twitch.tv/DJ Honeyflow. We're here right now live. So yeah, like how did you feel? When were you really feeling it? I've wanted to do a 24-hour stream, but I'm like, I'm not young anymore, so forget that. I'm not gonna do 24 hours. But like when were you kind of really feeling it? Were you kind of feeling it like the 12th hour or
well, let's see. It was crazy. So first of all, I remember it was December 23rd, and I wanted to like get some sleep beforehand, but I couldn't because there was a big snowstorm coming up. I think the next day, and I know I hadn't finished Christmas shopping, so I knew I wouldn't be able to go the next day. So I had to do it that day. So when I started, I wasn't rested up at all. I just kind of just came in and just started doing it. And I would say so. The first 8 hours I stood, and then after that I got my chair and sat for the most of the rest of the 16 or so hours. But I would say around 3 in the morning, I'm sitting down. At this time, I'm playing all slow jams and stuff. And so I got sleepy. It was the chat was slow. I wasn't, it wasn't that many people talking to me or whatnot. So I dozed off.
Oh
It was like
no.
three. It was about
Stop.
3:30, but not long because when the music stopped, it woke me up. So I hurried and
Mm.
put another song on. So the music stopped for maybe 10, 15 seconds. But other than that, it was 24 hours. And, shout out to, I would say DJ DeForest. I thought I saw him in there. Uh, his name might have scrolled up. But that was, he helped me out a lot because I didn't plan the whole thing. I didn't plan to set it all. I was like, I'm just going to play 24 hours. And I didn't know where to start. I played, a couple of songs, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna, we take our requests for genres or whatever. Give me a genre or whatnot. So he gave me the first genre, and from then on, it was a go. So yeah, he helped out a lot. And then I met a lot of
Oh
people during
wow.
that stream. A lot of people I met during that stream, and I was introduced to, and that helped me out meeting the people, and it was a real cool experience. I did it again for my second anniversary, but it was nowhere as cool. I guess the part of can I do it was gone. I knew I could do it, and it wasn't as enjoyable as the first time. So I probably won't do any more 24-hour sets, but that
Yeah, it's
first
a
one was,
lot.
was nice. It was
Do you
surreal.
guys do you guys hear him? It was kind of like delaying. I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi or, or this new computer I'm using. Did you guys hear what he was saying, or was it kind of like like robot-y and like delayed? Let me know. Maybe it was just from my end. So, okay, it was good the whole time? Oh, then it's probably
Okay,
definitely from
cool.
my end. Yeah, I could hear, but it was just, like, distorted a little bit, so I think it's my Wi-Fi. That's when people say, "Fix your AOL, honey Flo, fix your AOL." Like, "What the
Uh-oh,
heck?
using
You're on
AOL?
old stuff." No, I'm not using AOL. Come on, I don't even think AOL
Okay, I didn't know.
no, they're just bugging me because they think they're basically bugging me because they think I'm cheap. So they're like,
Oh,
"Use your AOL." Like, "What are you on AOL?" So they bug me. Um, yeah, but I am on Wi-Fi, so we'll see how it works. UK web
somebody
boy in
saying
the
that zero.
building. This girl Xtina, thank you for the
Hey, Miss
Prime
Girl.
subscription,
Is it
19
Xtina or
months.
Christina?
Well, her name
Chris
is
Lady
Christina,
A.
but it's this girl
Oh, okay. Oh, you call her Xtina.
Xtina
I'm
with the
missing the chat.
90s hair. With the 90s hair. I always say the 90s hair because she's got curls. Let's
90s
see.
hair is cool.
Thank you. I appreciate
So
that
so the
for coming
so one of
through
the
and
things going
subscribing.
into that,
I know.
one of the things going in, I was like wondering, would I have enough music to get through 24-hour set? And the first thing I thought of when it was over was all the music I didn't play that I still had. Now mind you, I started out playing gospel when DJing online, and I didn't even get a chance to play any gospel. So I had more than enough, and that was another thing to let me know, like I got you got enough music. I mean, you don't never really have enough, but you never. I mean, you're never in a place where it's like I don't have enough music for whatever event or whatever the situation is. There's so much music out.
But we always feel that way as DJs, and then we bring like 100,000 songs, and really, you're not
Right,
playing 100,000 songs, but we still are like that. Like DJs are very much like that. Our heads always like overthinking. We could all be perfectionists. We're always trying to, think of the next thing. So, but someone said to me, I think it was Jonah, he's like, "Why do you need 50,000 songs? Honey Flo, you're only playing for 5 hours. Like, just take enough. Don't worry about it. Don't freak out. Just take enough on your hard drive, and that should be good enough. But don't worry about like having everything because you're really not going to be using it," which is true, right? Um,
right, right.
but I think we just like to be over prepared. When did you actually start DJing too?
Ooh, man, I wish I could have a real simple answer for that. I started like back in the '80s, just fooling around. It was hobby. I was in college. I borrowed my friend's turntable, and I would be in there pretty much trying to emulate the scratches. Now, this is in the late '80s, mid to late '80s, so I would emulate DJs I would hear either on the radio or if it's a rap song, whatever. Back then, all every rapper had like a DJ song where they would show off what they can do or whatnot, and I would try to learn all the scratches and stuff like that. So that was around mid to late '80s, '87, '89, '90, somewhere around there. I was just playing around. I did a couple of parties during that time, but then I stopped. And actually in like '91, I stopped listening to all secular music. Period. So my cassettes and whatever, gave some records I had away to another guy who I worked with, who was a DJ, and I just stopped. So I tell people now that I've started DJing again, it's like this gap of music that I don't know because I stopped listening to it from like '91, '92, um, through to '97 was the biggest gap. But still, even from after that, I didn't listen to a lot of music. So I
Hmm.
probably got about a good 10-year gap of music that I just missed. I was a hip hop head before I stopped listening to and would buy everything, every rapper, good or bad. Sometimes you couldn't hear what it sounded like. You just bought it because it was a rap CD or a rap cassette at the time.
Hmm.
And sometimes you get some good ones. Most of the times it was they weren't so good, but I just had to get it. It wasn't that much. It wasn't that much rap out. So whenever I saw something, I would buy it. So
Yeah.
I went from that to not listening to anything like by '91, '92, not listening to any rap. And I tell people like this is an interesting 5-year gap from '92 to '97 of rappers that were huge that I missed, like Notorious B.I.G., Tupac. Those that they both got
Can't miss
big during that
them.
time.
Can't miss them. Yeah, yeah, for
Jay
sure.
Z.
Wow.
Um, yeah, so many huge acts that I missed out. So I'm kind of learning or relearning some stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Bronx Harlem Girl, she said, "Me too. I stopped in 2010." I also did too. I stopped like the music and listening to music. I think it was around 2011 for like a long time as well. So
Mm.
I get that. I definitely get that. Bronx Harlem Girl, I'm curious why you stopped. And we got She's First Lady, DJ T Rail. Make sure you guys check out the interview
Shout
we
out to
did
TJ
together.
T-Rail.
DJ T Rail earlier. DJ Daja, I got to get you too on for an interview. Bashi
Yeah.
KD, I did a long time ago, did an interview with her, which was great. Um, it was funny actually when I did her flyer. I think I did like a song. I think it was Murder She Wrote. I'm like, what? It's a nice beat. I like the song. She's like, can you change it? Like, I thought it was hilarious because it's like you see her bright, shining, radiating smile, like all like innocently nice. And then it was like Murder She Wrote. I think it was Murder She Wrote. I don't remember. It was a while ago. Um, who was that? Was it Checodemus and the Pliers? I don't know. I don't remember, but I thought it was funny because you see like her, like such a sweet smile, and it was like Murder She Wrote. Anyways, yeah. So how come you stopped the music? Was it just because it was kind of like secular and just you just needed a break from this whole world? Because this world could be interesting and entertainment, especially if you have some
Mhm.
sort of value. It's always like a tug of war. I still feel that now, actually. I don't know if you do, but getting back into a lot of the music that I stopped, getting back into it, it's always like kind of a tricky balance, for me,
Yeah.
especially with a entertainment now and where it's going and what these people believe in is a lot of them is very contrary to what what I believe in or what other people believe in, right? So did you
Right.
ever
Yeah.
have like a struggle with that?
Yeah. So right around '91 ish when I stopped. Okay. So the reason why I stopped was I mentioned earlier growing up in the church and going to church all the time and whatnot. Um, I believe I was a Christian as a teenager. But I was on the fence. dipping and diving, trying to be both. I want to be, too in the church, and I didn't want to be too out in the world. I was kind of doing what I mentioned earlier. I mentioned some preachers like or people would be not the same all the time. So that's how I felt that was happening to me, and I just that come to that point where I had to make a decision, get out the fence. If this is what you believe, then stop half stepping, just do it. And so I was always taught that certain music you shouldn't listen to or whatnot. So based on what I knew at the time, I said, okay, I'm just gonna stop this, and I only listen to gospel music, Christian music. At that point, I totally stopped. It was tough because you're used to doing things, and but that's I made the decision, get off the fence.
Hmm.
What's the
So
saying?
how
Get off the pot, no S, or get off the pot or whatever. So it was like I'm not going to be on the fence anymore. Let me just go all in.
For sure,
So
yeah. And sometimes I think you do need to take breaks and leave, and some people could handle it, and then when you hear all these crazy stories coming out, like the Diddy parties and all this craziness, you're just like, "I don't know, man. I don't know if I should be playing this," especially if you're very advocating against a lot of stuff that you're seeing in entertainment. So, yeah, it does definitely become tricky. We got
I
DJ
remember
Jonas in the building. How you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, go ahead.
I was at work one day, and I would I always I like music. I would hum or sing a song, and I'm at work, and I was singing this song or humming this song by 2020 Tony
Mhm.
while I was working. And then a few minutes later, I had to go up and get a tray of work, whatever. It was a gospel song popped in my head, so I was singing and humming that. And then the girl, I guess she heard me doing both, and she's like, you don't know what you want to do. One minute you singing gospel, one minute you singing, R&B or whatever." And that struck me to the core, and that was one of the things that spearheaded me and said, "Okay, yeah, make a decision. Don't be back and forth. Make the decision." So I made that decision because I never liked fake people. I never liked phony or if that's you, be you, be real. And so at that
Mhm.
moment, I saw myself as that, and I was like, I don't want to be that. So I made the decision.
Mhm. Oh my gosh, Urban Knight. He's like,
F the
"Beep, the
police.
police got me to stop." Oh, man. Um, he kinda reminds me of, what is it, DJ Big Al. He was an interesting, character to interview, that's for sure. He
I
was
saw
fun,
some of
though.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I do find that, like, I don't know, I do appreciate people that are real, like, sometimes you do find that more. um, I think in entertainment or outside of the church, like I feel like
Mhm.
the church does get a bad rep though. What do you think? Like a lot of people are like, they're just hypocrites or they're just this and that. Like I do feel like people do get a bad rep because like people are people, whether you go to a club, whether you go to the office, whether you're going to be let down by a lot of people. It's not just say in the church, right? Do you feel
Right.
like people kind of get a bad rep with that? Because I always hear it all the time from people, like, but it's no
Well,
different. But
yeah.
I do appreciate meeting people outside, like say in a club or out there, because the guys that I've interviewed, I feel like they've been more real and open than if you're to date or not date, sorry, if you were to sit down with someone and interview them in a church and they act like they're all perfected and perfect. I do appreciate the guys like DJ Big Al that shares his story. And it was like, hey, yeah, I was a pastor's kid, but I guess what? I also DJ'd a strip club, like it was interesting hearing him being so open and transparent, right? Which I always appreciate. But what do you think
Mhm.
about people saying that like, whatever, they're just all hypocrites. They're like, you know?
Well, it's a couple of things. So, um, okay, so let me put on my theology hat for a moment. I teach
Mhm.
Bible studies and stuff.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you're a Christian, you're a true follower of Jesus. The thing is, if you've been born again, changed, you have new desires to want to please God and do things His way. But at the
Mhm.
same time, you're still in your flesh, and you still have these old habits and this old baggage that you have been carrying all your life. So there's a fight that's going on all the time. And so you might find or catch a believer on a good day or a bad day, and depending on which voice or they're following at that moment. And so from
Mhm.
that point, for the outsiders, might look like a person and think, oh, they're fake, or they're you know they you know they're schizophrenic, because
Mhm.
one day or one moment you're doing something that God's leading you to do, and the next moment you're listening to your flesh and listening to the world or whatever, and or Satan might be tempting you to go somewhere else, and you might fall. And so
Mhm.
people, again, it depends on what day, or what moment. Now we shouldn't be so wishy-washy, but everybody get weak at time, and there's times when people are strong. So that's that theological path for true believers.
Mhm.
But then there's some people who are not really believers. They just go to church and they like to put on a show, and so you'll catch them putting on a show, but that's not really them.
Mhm.
So there's people that's in that boat. And then just in general, people are inconsistent all the time. So in the church setting, on a job setting, on the, in your marriage setting, whatever the setting is, we're people, and it's ups and downs, and it's not always consistent. So, for the most part, I think all people, you can catch anybody on a good day or a bad day, and it might be different.
Yeah, that's a
Are
great
they?
way of explaining it. That's so true. Wow. Because I think sometimes people like look and think that you should be perfect, or sometimes people wait for you to slip up when you're not. Maybe you could be having a week, or you're not. Or sometimes you place too much hope or faith into people, right? And that's a lesson
Mhm.
that we shouldn't really be doing. Like, even when I heard about Tony Evans recently, like, that kinda it really bothered me. I'm like, "Man, I used to always listen to that guy and listen to his messages, and he's like a father figure to a lot of people that maybe don't even
Mhm.
have fathers," right? Like, or people that, or someone like, I know a lot of guys I've talked to have said, "Tony Evans has literally been like a father figure to me." Like, that's
Yeah,
what some guys I've talked to have said, and I can see that, right? But then it just goes to show how human we are. Like, the heart,
yeah,
it
we
does
are.
say, is deceitful above so many things, every single one of us? So I'm learning that too.
Right.
Like, I don't know, I think I used to be totally naive that way, thinking like everyone in the church was on the same page, like everyone sitting beside you was exactly there. And it literally
Right.
took me the pandemic, it took me COVID to realize, oh shoot, people have split opinions, like politics, like people couldn't be more divided sitting next to you, including your family, right? So it kind of
Right. Right.
it really was kind of eye-opening, for me at least. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Shoot,
Oh,
King
right.
Melody. I just want to say thank you for the 3 gifted subs and all your support,
Oh,
King
wow.
Melody. Much love to you, and just always coming to my show, and supporting me. I really do appreciate you and appreciate that as well. And the Skrillextina earlier. Yeah, so I guess I don't get into these conversations too often, like on Twitch or online, but when I get a chance to, I'm always curious and excited to sit down with people like you, that can go a bit deeper and talk about these things, because it's very rare in entertainment to be able to do that.
Right. Right. So yeah. So that's just, yeah, in general. Someone
Mhm.
mentioned in the chat that you can love both genres. Yeah, you can.
Mhm.
I think for me, it was a thing where I was totally into it. I mean, I was listening to everything. At the time, somebody mentioned after police, NWA gangster rap was becoming popular. I was listening to everything. The Ghetto Boys, the
Mhm.
song they were talking about having sex with a dead body and stuff. I mean, it was
Oh, dang.
whatever,
Didn't know that.
so so yeah, it was all kind of stuff. So I've grown, I think, to the point to recognize that it's not necessarily the genre. I would think that's an issue, but I would
Mhm.
take each song individually, and like you mentioned, even maybe some artists. if you know where they, where they stand, if it's too much out there, then that,
But it's every
that's a personal.
artist. Yeah, but if
Well,
you look
every
at
artist aren't the same, isn't the same.
but if you look at the Grammys now, like, think about it, when you were playing top 40 before, it wasn't like
Hmm.
chanting, it wasn't like straight up demonic, which a lot of artists are right now, like, let's, like, keep it 100, right? When you research music, they say the more you sing it, the more, like, you're chanting, like, they literally put different things on the music. Like, actually, I don't know if you've heard "Color Me Bad" story. That was shocking to me. I was like,
No, I
"Oh,
didn't.
shoot." Yeah, make if you guys get a chance, Google "Color Me Bad." It was the guy with the long, did he have long braids or long dreads? I think it was braids back then. Like, they put certain chants and spells on, I think, "I Wanna Sex You Up," that song, and it's very poppy, and I still like it, but I always, in my brain, I'm always back to what he talked about, and he goes in deep. He talks about, that's why he left music, because he said that there are certain things we did over the music that people didn't really know, and then, because of the song blowing up, certain things happened with women. I won't get too deep into it, but it's a full story, guys. You gotta check it out. Color Me Bad. And he talked about getting the award at the Soul Train Awards and the Grammys, and they're all like different gods. So certain things happened to him in his life, like, and then he's like, I won't play that again. So it's hard. I feel like it's tricky because there's a lot of craziness in music now, right? And people think you're crazy or some conspiracy theorist, but these artists are actually, like, saying what they're doing. They're not hiding it. They're basically saying what they believe in, and so it's like, do you continue playing it or do you stop? But then I kind of feel like, do you live in a bubble or do you not? Like, it's so tricky, I feel, in entertainment, because it's in movies, it's in music, it's everywhere you go right now, right? So
Yeah.
how do you stand on the values you have and still kind of continue in entertainment, you know?
Well, I mean, it depends on, for me, what the songs are. I mean, it's individual. Like, um, every song isn't the same,
Mhm.
right? So at the time where I was only listening to gospel music, it was one of the things. I don't know if I heard a minister say this or whatnot, but if you want to romance your wife, take her
Mhm.
out on a date, you're not going to be listening to Rough Side of the Mountain. And
Mhm.
so I was like, oh yeah, okay, that
Well, we
makes
know
sense.
DJ T-Rail and, she's First Lady, after their spicy interview, they're definitely listening to something else. We're not sure what they're listening to. Maybe Megan Stallion or something. No, I'm just bugging them. They're definitely listening
Right, right.
to Isley Brothers, Between the Sheets, or something crazy. I don't, well, that's not crazy. I like the song, but it, I don't know. Their interview was funny. They're
What
listening
they,
to
yeah,
something else. They're married.
yeah, what they can do. They married, so it's all good.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, but
Exactly.
um,
But I find it
but
funny.
yes,
Yeah.
there's different songs have different messages. Now I don't
Mhm.
know a lot of the details about like a lot of artists, so like you sound like you know more than me about
Yeah,
what
when you
some of the
start
artists
researching them,
practice.
you're
So
yeah, when you start researching them, you're kinda blown away, like, a lot of the stuff coming in out now doesn't surprise you. What about Chris Brown, Bronx Harlem? Would you listen to him? I mean, I like a lot of Chris Brown stuff, but it's just like, it's hard, like, yeah, because there's so many artists doing different things right now, and things are slowly coming out, but, I mean, they've been doing it for years, and it's almost every actually, when I interviewed, John Castles, and he, was the one that was against anti-human trafficking when I interviewed him a few years ago. He's like, "I hate to tell you, but every artist in hip hop is pretty much involved, like down to Drake and all these other guys." And he's like, "I hate to tell you that, but it's the truth." And I'm like, "Oh man." Like, it was some of the stuff he was telling me off record, not on my show, but through a phone call, it was hard to digest because there's a lot of stuff, but we're hearing it slowly, things coming out now, right? So, yeah.
mm,
Um,
yeah, it's I don't think it's a one answer to fit every situation. I mean, they had those debates all the time. Should we separate the person from their art?
Mhm.
And I think it's an individual answer that it might be okay for you to listen to this person, but it may not be okay for me. I'm not comfortable doing it. And from if I put my theological hat on again, or from a point of view, if you're talking about Christians that are involved, everybody don't have the same sensitivities, and
Yeah.
everybody don't have the
That's true.
same background and stuff like that. That there's certain things or certain places or certain songs that may take a person back to where they were, where when they weren't trying to live for God, and it might bring them back to that space. But
Mhm.
some other believer, they were never there, and that song doesn't do that for them. So
Yeah,
for
that's
that
true.
person, it's okay. So I think individually we have to, draw our own individual lines, because it's I don't think it's a real hard line, of where you should listen to. Somebody mentioned R. Kelly. Don't listen to R. Kelly, or don't listen to Chris Brown. Somebody mentioned, like, and some people like, I,
Mhm.
I'm not. It doesn't bother me to listen to R. Kelly, or it doesn't bother me to listen to Chris Brown, and we probably shouldn't judge those people who don't have the same sensibilities as you do in those situations. You can
Yeah,
say
I'm
it's
not
okay to
judging
say
them. I'm
you
just
listening
asking
to it.
questions.
Oh no, I'm not
Yeah.
saying you, but I mean different people. Like,
Mhm.
was not only will a person not say listen to Chris Brown, but they'll look down upon you because you do listen to Chris Brown.
Oh,
That
yeah,
I
which
think is going
happens
too far.
all the time. Yeah, that
Right,
happens all
right,
the time. I play Chris
and
Brown. I did have someone in my chat say, like, I would never go to his concert. He's like a wife beater. Like, someone got kind of, like, straight up told me. I was like, "Well, I play a lot of Chris Brown, but I don't play R. Kelly." I love R. Kelly's music, but because I've studied
mhm,
human trafficking so much and actually sat down with survivors, it's really, really hard for me, and even with Diddy right now, it's very, very hard for me. But then I may play a few tracks, but with R. Kelly, I don't play, right? So,
right, right.
and to answer your question, DJ T-Rail, I didn't mention Chris Brown, but it's not really a blanket statement because this guy's been fighting against human trafficking since the 90s. So this guy has a lot of inside information. If you want to go back, I mean, it's just too much to get into today. But like, if you want to go back, just look up my interview with John Castles. And his interview was very eye opening. But I did ask him to not probably talk about it on my show because he talked about the cultures, the races, especially in Ontario. He talked about a lot of like just everything because he deals directly with survivors, right? So he's been fighting this since the 90s. So it's not something he's making up. But it's also Hollywood too, right? It's not just hip hop artists. I'm not saying all of them, but he said a good majority of them for sure. So that kind of surprised me. And then he was listing names. And I said, it's probably good if you maybe don't mention it on my show because I didn't want a huge thing. But yeah, just go back to that interview. It's an interesting one. But he just told me that off record. Yeah. So, anyways,
Mm,
yeah. So it's interesting.
yes.
So do you get heat from like people kind of in the church if you're doing a Bible study? Do you get some heat being like, oh, well, like because I know I get heat from even my own friends give me heat for playing secular music, right? But then I may look at their life and be like, well, they're kind of also doing this. So what's the difference? You
Mhm.
could be watching certain movies that aren't good, but then you're getting upset with me for doing a show. So do you ever get heat from like I guess kind of people in the church or trying to balance things?
Not really heat. I've heard. I had a friend ask me, I don't know how you can do that. So that's
Mhm.
maybe heat. I did I performed a wedding last year on a ship on a cruise,
Mhm.
and afterwards I started playing music for the people that was there. And one of the guys I didn't hear, but somebody told me, they said, it's like, he's a minister. Why is he playing this music?
Yeah,
And
for
it's
sure.
like weird to them. And no, and I know cultural is it's a cultural thing. I know in a lot of times, a lot of places. Growing up myself in a Baptist church, it's a saying. I don't smoke, I don't chew, I don't know, and I don't go with the girls who do.
Mhm.
Which is to say, this is my lifestyle is a certain way, and it's not the worldly way or whatever. But there's other groups that don't even think of necessarily a negative
Yeah.
connotation with non-Christian
Mhm.
or secular music. So um, I think it's individual. It depends. So to answer your question, I haven't like gotten any like real heat for it or whatnot. I do pay it. I try to pay attention. One thing I don't like to do is mix. Like it'll be rare if you hear me play uh, I don't know, a if I'm playing a gospel set, I'm not gonna throw in like R&B song, or if I'm playing R&B set or whatever else, I'm not probably not gonna throw in a gospel song. And that's just something. It's just personal. I'm not saying it's wrong for across the board for everyone to feel this way, but for me, the mixing of the two, I'm not comfortable with. But
Mhm.
it's certain songs, I won't play. And there's a difference.
But
There's some songs
gospel
that are
could be a
blatant.
very yeah, gospel is a very big business too. It's a multi-million dollar business as well. Same with the
Right,
church. So I don't really see I mean, yes, there is a difference, but just because you sing about God doesn't make you higher than, you know, anyone else, right? Like,
right.
and I
So I was
do have
talking
to
about the
notice
music, not
something.
the industry. I'm talking
Yeah,
about the
yeah.
actual music. So the industry, yeah, I've heard horror stories about stuff that goes on in
Yeah, because 'cause
gospel.
I've seen some gospel artists walk off stage and, like, get, like, crazy mad. I think it was Tasha Cobbs actually when I saw years ago, and she just stopped the concert, like, she did not and it's like, I can't remember if they gave oh, yeah, I think they eventually gave back the money, but people were waiting, like, for a while, you know? And yeah, I don't know what happened there, but anyways, it I guess it just goes
Yeah,
to show people are human. It doesn't make you much higher or better just because 'cause you're doing gospel, you know, but people may think that, like, or perceive that, right? So
right. So during that time, back in the early '90s, where I mentioned that I totally stopped listening to secular music,
mhm,
I got I would say convicted, because just because I started listening to gospel music, I wasn't always listening to it because for praising God, or worship, or anything like that. I just like the sound. So in the
mhm,
same sense, I could listen to secular music and just enjoy the music. It's not any more spiritual because I'm listening to the gospel music and I'm just enjoying the music and not necessarily even thinking about what's being said. So it's the same, it was the same thing. It's me enjoying music. It's a different genre, different kind of music. So
mhm.
um and so I had learned then there's a difference between me listening to a gospel song with really thinking about the words and really thinking about God versus just liking how it sounds. So yeah,
Yeah, that's
it's a
true, that's
different
true.
genre. And so when you were talking about the industry, yeah, it's there's probably a lot of things that I don't know about, and maybe I don't want to know about. But
Yeah, trust me, you
in
don't
all
really
these
wanna know
entertainment
about
industries, if
you
it's
don't
about
wanna know
money,
about the more you research it, the more you're like, "Oh, man, this is crazy." Like, the more you
mhm,
start researching it, it's just like, oh man, it definitely breaks your heart, like, some of this stuff. Like, when I heard the "Color Me Bad" thing, I was like, "Oh, man." I'm like, "Really?" I'm like, "I love that group, man, Color Me Bad," you know?
yeah.
And their
Oh
curly
yeah,
long hair down to their shoulders. What the heck?
oh yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah, your curls.
Yeah,
But yeah,
exactly.
even back then it was like we would hear stories about rock music, and you got the demon symbols and
Mhm.
either upside down cross or the
True.
star, so we would like stay
AC/DC and
away
all
from that. And
yeah.
I don't know if they actually worship demons or it's a thing they get
Mhm.
people to buy. I mean, yeah, I don't know. So because I don't
Well,
know,
it's definitely becoming more popular. It's definitely becoming more popular. I see it all the time on Twitch too, like, people are like, "Hey, I'm a witch now," and like everyone's like, that seems like the cool thing to do, you know? Like I'm seeing it so much, even with a lot of female DJs, some of them, you know, which I don't know. To me, it's I don't know. To me, it makes me sad, basically, because we share something that is so contrary to what people are doing, right? But I think it is important to speak up, and I think that it's great to play gospel music, but I think all of us are kind of commissioned to make a difference, right? And I still think we can make a difference in entertainment, whether you fit in or you don't, or you can still there's still a place for people here, right? So,
Right, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, entertainment in and of itself is not evil.
Mhm.
Um, and actually, the Bible says to Christians, whatever you do, do all to the glory of God. So it's not necessary. Actually, the verses say, whether you eat or drink, do all to the glory of God. So everybody eats and drinks. So
Mhm.
it's not even that case. It's not necessarily what you do, but the why you're doing it and the how you're doing it. So as a believer, we can do a lot of the same things that non believers would do, but it's how and what's our focus, what's our reason for doing it. If it's for the glory of God, then you do it in that manner. It's not just for yourself or whatever other motivations there would be.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, it's interesting. You give it interesting like a different perspective, you know? You got me thinking on some things too, for sure. So, going back to Twitch, like, do you have any goals? Like, you said you've been here 10 years, which is crazy. You've probably seen a lot, like, and a lot of different streamers come on if you've been on here for like 10 years, you know?
Well, so I've streamed for 10 years, but I never watched other streams, and I only streamed those 10 years playing in my football league. So
Mhm.
I've only watched streamers for the last 3 years or so.
Okay. All
All
right.
right. So again, before it was just a way to have guys in my league watch my games, watch our games, but I never even considered the millions of other people that are out there. I mean, no one really came to our channel, so it was basically just our league watching our games. But um,
Mhm.
I never even considered all the other, channels, and it's Madden is of all the gamers is a very small portion, kind of even similar to DJ. DJs make up a very small portion of how big Twitch is, and so I never thought of myself as a streamer, even though I stream. So,
Hmm. Well, you
so
definitely
for
are
the
a streamer.
well, I mean, for those 10 years. So within the
Oh.
last 3 years, yeah, I started to do the DJ thing, and I got no goals. I did it for fun. I was doing it for fun. Um, I'm not doing it for money. I don't click on these monetizing things. I made what's not partner. What is it before? What's the first step you get when you got a certain amount of
Oh,
viewers?
affiliate?
Affiliate. So yeah, I made affiliate,
Affiliate?
and that was like a goal, like oh, this to be cool, to do. But when I made affiliate, I started getting ads, and I couldn't turn them off. Somebody can tell me that'd
Can't
be
you
great
turn you
because
could turn off your ads, can't you?
really I tried and I couldn't. It seemed like they would still pop up when I
Yeah,
put
they still
none.
kinda
So
pop up. I don't know why they do. Well, no, I think there's an option there where you can turn off your ads.
I tried or I clicked it, but it was still ads would still pop. It wouldn't be nearly as many, but
Actually,
they
I
would
do
still pop
too,
up.
and they still pop up, and I don't
So,
understand why.
if it was up to me, I wouldn't play any ads because I would rather, not have the music be interrupted. But and so I didn't have any goals and of making money or having a certain amount of viewers. It would be cool because you'd rather play with people watching you than one person or two people, which I often get. And
Mhm.
it's as much as I like music, I love music. I like sharing music even more. So I can play and enjoy the music for myself, but I love like sharing. Oh, here's a song that I never heard this before. I never heard this version before. I really like it. So I get
Mhm.
more joy in sharing the music than just playing it.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's
So
definitely
for that reason, I would rather have a lot of people watching it because more people to share. But I don't have a set number or goal.
Okay, so like no like partner growing or that sort of thing. Like, do you have a set schedule and what type of shows do you do just so people know and the times and the days that you're on too?
So, yeah, so right now I have been regularly scheduled on Monday nights at 7 p.m. On this Monday.
Mhm.
I love R&B Monday rate train, so it's all R&B every Monday at 7 p.m. Well, the whole rate train is all R&B, so that's I'm on for an hour from 7 to 8, and then I'm also on an internet radio's channel on Tuesday nights from 8 to 10. Every Tuesday from 8 to 10 p.m. And it's open format. I'll play whatever during that time. This past Tuesday, it was all house music.
Oh,
So I
nice.
like
Okay.
different kinds of music. So I'll there's no telling what you might hear me playing,
What's
quite
your
frankly.
favorite?
So
Do you have like a favorite genre of music?
wow, good question. I would say gospel's up there still,
Mhm.
and then after that, or right around there, I well, probably R&B. Hip hop was, well, I was just say golden age hip hop might be pretty far up there, but yeah, probably R&B and gospel.
Who would be like
Oh, I
say
haven't did gospel in a while though, so it's probably going to be one coming soon.
okay, who would be your top like 3 gospel artists and top 3 maybe like R&B artists that you like?
Ooh, favorite gospel singer is Marvin Winans. Favorite
Oh,
living
that's a
gospel
good one.
singer.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah.
Also a Detroiter. Um,
Oh, I didn't know that.
who else? Other two another gospel artist. He's passed away, but Reverend James Moore was one of my favorites.
Mhm.
He's also a Detroiter.
Oh, okay. Nice.
And who was the third? That's a good question. I kind of want to say Kurt Franklin, but I kind of not want to say Kurt Franklin for some reason. I think, well, I like Kurt Franklin's earlier stuff way better than the
Yeah,
later
yeah,
stuff.
same with me, same with me. He's
But
like my height. When I saw him, I was like, "Oh, wow, he's a shorty, Kirk Franklin." He must have been at
yeah,
DJ Big L's, events with those moves, you know, those moves that went viral?
yeah, I don't know what happened. What you talking about, Kurt Franklin's?
Yeah, just like,
I don't
what
know if
is
it's
he
something that
doing?
went
I'm like,
viral
I'm
lately, but
so
somebody must have
confused.
told him he can dance, and so he's,
When he was
you know,
doing those, you know, body roll moves to, like, praise and worship or whatever he was doing, I'm like, "You must have been at DJ Big Al's event. Make sure you send
I,
that message to Big Al."
okay, I just
I'm
got it.
just like I'm
I
like,
just got
"What
it.
is going on here?" I'm so
So
confused.
so he I heard him say, he's just having fun, So I
Yeah.
guess somewhere along the line, somebody must have told him he can dance or something because he started doing that a lot more lately. But hey,
It's
shout
like
out to Jay
seeing
Moss.
TD
Somebody said Jay
seeing
Moss.
TD Jakes on the floor. I'm like, "What is going on here?" Did you see that video with him on the floor?
I
Anyways.
didn't.
Oh, okay, well, Google it. You have a lot of research to do after this interview.
Yeah, I had to write this stuff down.
It's like, "Oh, man, what is happening here?"
UK Web
Okay,
Boy,
Web Boy, he says Jay Moss. Yeah,
Jay
Jay Moss
Moss.
is a good one.
Also
Um
another Detroiter.
Oh, is he? Wow, lots of
He actually
great
went to the same high school too, Cass Tech.
oh,
CT in the
cool.
house.
Was he, like, older or younger? That's dope.
He's a
Got
few
some
years
famous
younger.
people around you. Wow. Jay
He's a
Moss, yeah, he's
few.
a great, great singer. Wow,
Oh
lots of
man.
people coming out of Detroit. Do you feel like a lot of people moving back to Detroit or no? Because I heard, I think in 2008, there were I don't know if this is right, but I heard it was close to 1,000,000 people or over 1,000,000 people left. And anytime I went to Atlanta, it's like everyone I met out there was from Detroit. Lots of Detroit people definitely moved to Atlanta.
It's been people moving from Detroit to Atlanta since I can remember, since the
Mhm.
'80s or '90s. It was like Atlanta was the place to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, in '08 is when the the economy hit, the
Mhm.
housing market hit, and a lot of automakers went bankrupt. And so a lot of people, yeah, left because a lot of
Left.
people are connected, either work for the big three, which is GM, Chrysler, Stellantis now, and Ford.
Mhm.
And if they don't work for those companies, they work for suppliers of that company or some connection with that company. So the auto industry is huge here, and
So it's all
when
picked
that
up
took that
again?
hit,
Has it all picked up again or not really?
um, I mean the economy in and of itself, I think, yeah, has, but I don't know if there's been mass people moving back here.
Okay, because the
Yeah.
housing, everything's probably a lot still cheap, relatively cheap, I think. I gotta Google and see. I haven't been out there in years, so I definitely gotta.
Yeah, the housing market's been is going up for the last, I don't know, 5 or 10 years or so.
Mhm.
It's gone up, but it bottomed out in '08. Everybody was upside down. Most people were upside down in their homes, but then over time, it's built up. Equity's
Yeah.
coming back, and I get calls all the time for people trying to buy my house.
Oh, really? Would you ever think
Yeah,
about
there's
selling
still.
it and moving?
I don't know if the price is right, maybe.
Mhm. Like, have you ever thought
Well,
about
my wife
moving?
wants to move south, so she hates the cold. So eventually, we're gonna move. She wants to move somewhere south, somewhere it's warm. She hates it up the winters here.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm with her. I'm ready to. I was researching the South so much, especially Texas, you guys. Oh my gosh. You can get a huge house out there, like beautiful home in Texas for like what, 300,000 or it's insane. Like
But here,
they have this guy on Instagram that shows all the houses in Houston and they're huge. Like I don't know why is Texas so cheap? Let us know if you guys know. Oh yeah, Carolina sounds good too. Where would she wanna move down south?
um, she I don't think it matters to her anywhere warm. For me, I'm
Oh,
picky because I hate tornadoes. I don't want to move anywhere like in the middle where there's a lot of tornadoes. I don't want to move too far south where they have hurricanes.
I know, I'm feeling the
Go
same
out too
way.
far west, you got earthquakes. It's something wrong with
There's
every
always
place. So I don't
something,
know.
right? But even with
Yeah.
us, look at the ice storms or the crazy storms we've been having, like, over the last couple years, right? I think it's
Hmm.
everywhere. Bronx Harlem girl, are you whereabouts in Florida are you now? Let us know. Yeah, I watched a documentary on Florida, and they said that everything's built on sand, so eventually it's just gonna go whoosh, like, into the sea, not to scare anyone in Florida, and then
But they were saying that
California
about
with the earthquake.
California for since the '70s. They were saying that.
True, but do you really wanna live, around, to see that? I know I don't. I'd rather deal with an ice storm than deal with, like, your condo going into the sea with alligators. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, Carol
Yeah.
Springs, where is that? Is that, like, near Orlando or Tampa? I'm not too familiar with Carol Springs. It's beautiful, though, in Florida, though. That would be great. And, North and South Carolina are really nice and friendly. How you doing, DJ Profit? Good to see you
Shout out
as
to DJ
well.
Prophet. Hey,
Oh, it's near Fort Lauderdale. Okay. Yeah, Fort Lauderdale I like. I think I like Fort Lauderdale better than Miami. Like, I like it. It's nice there. It's actually pretty there. It's really lush and nice. Yeah. So you would consider it if the price is right, you would consider going?
to Florida.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know because it's like hurricanes and stuff down. Not that it happen a lot, but yeah, I don't know about Florida.
And your wife
I
doesn't
don't
care?
think.
She just like, "Listen, somewhere warm, I don't care."
Yeah, I think. Yeah, she's just somewhere warm. She has some family
And
in
don't
Arizona, so
Texas
maybe
have
out
torna
west.
Oh, yeah, Arizona would be the winters are the Red Rock Mountains, it's beautiful there in Arizona. So, I heard it's crazy, crazy hot though in the summer, but, lots of
But it's,
Canadians
it's
have
a
moved.
dry heat. So I guess that
Mhm.
makes a big difference. It's a dry heat, they say. My parents were from Alabama, and it's super hot and muggy, and that's too bad. This it's way too what's what I'm thinking of.
It's in.
It's way too humid. It's hot. It's hot, but it's really humid. And they have crazy storms there with the tornadoes
Oh,
and
really? In Alabama? Oh,
their
yeah, Alabama.
thunderstorms. It's not like regular thunderstorms. They're like on steroids or something
Oh my
too.
gosh. Don't they have that in Texas too? Like the tornadoes or
Yeah, but I
hurricanes? I
think
don't know.
more so in like the Oklahoma area, Oklahoma, Kansas, right in the middle is where they have a lot of tornadoes.
It's hard to figure out where to move to. I
Right.
don't know.
So
Yeah,
that's
because
the
you're
thing. It's
right.
no place perfect. Not here, I guess. Or
But I would rather deal with an ice storm than, yeah, the ground moving alligators or, hurricanes. I don't know how you deal with hurricanes, Bronx, Harlem. I'd be
yeah, you
freaking
just
out.
gotta leave.
Like a tropical storm? Oh my gosh. I don't know. I don't think I can handle that. Yeah. Oh, well. So if you guys have any questions, drop it in the chat, you guys, for DJ Ron Love as well. Make sure you guys are adding him. The link is here. DJ underscore Ron Love. Make sure you guys are all adding him. Everyone catching the replay. He's definitely such a dope guy, person,
Oh man,
and yeah, and I want to thank you too because you've been one of the few that have always come through my show as well and supported me. So I really, really do appreciate that. And for everyone else in this room that has always come through as well, too. So you've definitely been a regular. So yeah. Thank you for.
appreciate you, Bronx Harlem girl, for the follow.
Yes, make sure you're adding him. Yeah, so appreciate you always coming through for sure. And you're coming to Toronto, you mentioned. Is that it's a couple weeks? In a couple weeks to the Scratch Bastard event?
In July, yeah, about a month from today, the 27th of
Okay.
July. Scratch Bastards Barbecue. He's having 2-day event, so I'm gonna check it out. I've only been to Toronto once before, so we get a chance to go again. It's funny. So I was watching this his stream, and he's one of
Mm-hmm.
the people that was like a heavy influence on me. One of the first guys I watched on Twitch. And he was last year. He was talking about the different barbecues he would take to different cities or whatever. I think it was in Texas at that time, and he had just got back. And I say, when you coming to Detroit? And he actually responded. It's like he said, man, you only 5 hours away. Come to Toronto. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
I
true. That's
said,
true.
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, let me. So
You'll like
take me to
it.
Toronto.
It's so packed up and it's under like a bridge. It's called I think it's the Gardner Bridge. It's under a bridge. It's kind of an
Mm.
interesting concept, but it's insanely packed, like
Oh
with a
wow.
lot of hip hop heads, and I know I wore my DJ Honeyflow top just to see if anyone recognized me with the hat. So I got stopped a few times. I was surprised. Like people pulled me out of the crowd, which was pretty cool. Yes, DJ Daja, are you going to the event? I think I asked you earlier. Prepare for the traffic. Yeah, like I was telling him about
Okay.
that. It's probably better just like catching a train or streetcar or something up and walking. But yeah, go early if you
Hmm.
can, like go for the whole day. Um,
Okay.
and it's definitely fun. It'll be packed. I wish I was if tickets were a bit cheaper, I would have definitely gone and met you guys, but hopefully we can connect before you leave. He's only here for a day, guys. So, did you find a hotel?
Yeah, it's. I want to say it's how you pronounce it, Misaga, or it's near there. It's like between
Mississauga?
Misaga. Yeah, it's some road like down the highway from the airport. I don't I don't
Oh,
know
okay.
what exactly it where. But
Yeah.
so if you were at the airport and you were to come in town, you have to take this road down s- south towards to get. I was looking at it on the map. So the hotel is like along that particular highway. So it's like between the airport and Toronto. Oh, did you freeze? Am I frozen? Questions: How much are the tickets? I think they were like $100. I gotta look it up. Did we lose Honey Flow or did you guys lose me?
Oh, can you guys hear?
Oh, Oh, there you go. I hear you. There you go. You're back.
Oh, am I back? Am I frozen like this, guys?
You were frozen.
Oh man. Ah, geez. I'm telling you, I have people screaming in my head, pay your AOL bill, pay it, Honey Flow.
Uh-oh.
I'm on Wi-Fi and I'm using a new computer, and I think that's why. Sorry about that. I was gonna say UK Snuggles said, "Where in the US do you have regular weather without crazy storms?" That's a good question. I don't know.
It's
Well, there are
I
40
mean, we don't
states.
have crazy storms here in Michigan, but
What about Chicago?
um,
Chicago would be okay. Indiana, maybe? I don't know.
but if you're talking about, my wife wants to move somewhere warm. It's not warm in Chicago. It's not warm here. So everywhere that's a trade off. Wherever it's warm, that's where you have potential for weather, storms, and stuff like
Oh,
that.
great. My mouth's open like that? Hopefully not. Am I still frozen, guys? Can you tell? I'm not frozen? Anyways, yeah, they always bug me, King Melody, that I have AOL 'cause,
Mhm.
I'm still on Wi-Fi. I can't get a connection in here. That's a long story. Anyways, let's see here. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, so if you got
you had asked me a question earlier I didn't answer.
Mhm.
Favorite R&B singers?
Yes, oh, yeah, 3 top R&B.
Luther, number one. That
Mhm.
was my guy, Luther. Um, I never got a chance to see Prince live, but he's up there. I've been participating in Prince Rage Train too, and since then I've grown a more appreciation for Prince.
For sure.
Just
Prince,
so much
the
stuff he's done.
best concert. Who else has gone to Prince in the room? That was the best concert, hands down. And I wasn't a crazy Prince fan at the time. My friend dragged me, and I was like, "Oh, okay, fine. I'll go to the after party." I don't even know why I contemplated it. I think we convinced the guy at the door to let us in for $20. Like, I was weaseled my way in for $20, and he played till, like, 6 in the morning. Like,
Wow.
he's mesmerizing. Like, I never knew, and he's only 4'11", but he's just got that much presence on stage, right? So, yeah,
So
Prince was definitely
that's
awesome.
interesting. Now, not only did you get a chance to see him, you got to go to an after party of his. That's pretty cool.
Well, no, I didn't go to the main concert because the concert was about $200, and that at that time,
Oh,
that was, like, way too much for me. So I'm like, "Forget that." So my friend calls me up. She's like, "Look, just come," and she was begging me to come because she was a crazy Prince fan. I said, "Okay, fine. I'll do it for you." We get to the front door, convince the security to let me in for $20. We get in, we
wow.
get to the front of the stage. We're 5 feet away from him. But do you know what was most memorizing? Like, Prince was, but it was his bass guitarist. Who was it again? Um, was it Tina
You know
Marie
what?
or no, was it Tina
No,
Marie, guys? Or the drummer?
no.
Yeah, who was the bass
It
guitarist? I
well, it
can't
depending on what era. Early on was Andre Simone, but I don't know what
Oh,
era was it
shoot.
that you were
It
that you
must have
go
been
that
like
you
trying to think. It was probably like 2005. Yes, Sheila E. That's it. Sheila
oh, the
E.
drummer,
Yeah,
not the bass
so
player, the drummer.
yeah, I'll tell you guys this crazy story. When it was 6 in the morning, we slipped through the back door. We saw his tour bus, and guess what I did? I walked right up to the tour bus, knock, 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 knocked at his door, and the driver opens up the door of the tour bus. He's like, "Let me guess, you want to see Prince?" Because he thought, we were typical girls after the concert, just trying to get with Prince. And I said,
Right.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Prince did a really good job, but I kind of want to see the female guitarist. And I don't know if it was Sheila E. or who was the other girl you mentioned?
Wait. What did she play? Did she play drums, bass, or guitar?
Bass. Oh, yeah, Sheila
Bass,
E.
bass
played drums,
guitar.
right? Yeah,
Yeah,
bass
she would play
guitar, but she was
drums.
playing it behind her head. She's playing it behind her head, like, she was really, really cool, and I totally fangirled on this girl, and then the
What
driver
year?
started. Oh, I think it was about
What year?
2005, and then the driver started
Oh, okay.
laughing, and he's like, "What? You wanna see her and you don't wanna see Prince?" I go, "Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, Prince was great, but I really wanna see her." So she came out, the whole band came out. Prince didn't come out. I know this woman will always remember me. So she came out and she started laughing. She's like, "What?" She's like, "You want to see me and you don't want to see Prince?" And I said, "Yeah, like you were amazing." I didn't know who she was at the time, guys, but you know what? I might email her. Maybe I'll try shooting my shot for an interview because I know she's going to remember me 20 years later. And so they all came out. They were all laughing. They were in so much shock that I pulled her off the bus to talk to her because I was like fangirling her. I thought she was really cool. And yeah, and then they said, "Oh, do you guys play bass guitar?" And me and my friend looked at each other. We're like, "Oh man, I don't want to look like nerdy, like fangirling her." So we actually both lied. I'm not gonna lie. We both lied. Me and my friend looked at each other. We're like, we just nodded and smiled. Like, yeah, we play bass guitar. And we're thinking, shoot, I hope they don't ask us any questions about bass guitar. And and then everyone in the band's like, "Oh, that's why you called her off the bus." Like, then it made sense, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
anyways, it was a cool story. Um, of course, I stayed in memory of 2 decades. Come on, Mariposa. Of course. That was Prince, man. And the crazy thing is we saw him in Minneapolis at his club. He had Purple Club in Minneapolis, and Prince was going upstairs and my friend was going downstairs. And he tried talking to my friend and she snobbed him off. And I go, "Who is that? You know, that guy looks like Prince." And she's like, "Ah, nah, it's just a Prince impersonator." It actually was Prince. So he was trying to get her
Wow.
to like his VIP thing because he liked her. So we laughed till this day. We're
Wow.
like, "You snobbed off Prince," and we both lied saying that, like we play bass guitar. Oh man. Anyways, it's a long story, but it's a cool story. Do you ever have any kind of moments with artists or like a cool story or memory of any artist that you've seen?
Ooh, nothing special. I used to work at a record shop, and there would be times where they would bring artists there to help promote records, albums, or whatnot. So I met a couple of art. I met KRS-One, EPMD,
Oh wow.
um,
Those are cool stories.
X
Did you
Clan.
did you like
But I
talk
mean,
to them a little bit
not
or
not really. They came in, signed some autographs, took some pictures. That was basically it. Um, yeah, that was basically it. I kind of was crushing on. Remember Oaktown 357, the MC Hammer's dancers who later on became a singing group.
Mhm.
They came in and I was kind of crushing on them, but
Wait, crushing on who?
Oaktown 357.
Oh, okay.
This was MC Hammer's girl group. They were his dancers,
That's so funny.
and then he made them into a rap group.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you remember the song "Juicy Got Him Crazy." Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's what Mariposa said. Juicy
yeah,
got him
yeah.
crazy.
Um, what's
Oh,
another hit?
DJ Daja's like, which record store, like, he bought so many records in Detroit.
Oh, Chantonique's. Shout out to Chantonique's Records on the east side of Detroit. They still open actually. They
Oh,
sell
wow.
clothes and other things now, but
Do you
yep.
remember that, DJ Daja? Let us know if you remember that, record store. That's cool. Yeah, those are neat stories. You never know. KRS-One, I interviewed Jay Swan, and he opened up for KRS-One, and KRS-One
Mhm.
was like, "Look, buddy, stay in your lane." Or he said something to him like, "Remember the culture," like because he was like a white guy on stage opening up. Have you heard of Jay Swan? He's very, very good.
I haven't.
So he basically said people were loving him and he got like a lot of shine from the crowd. Like, I don't know if it was more than the main act. Yes, that's what it was. Mariposa. What exactly did he say to him? I can't remember
He
Mariposa.
chastised
He
them.
chastised him and I didn't think it was really fair cuz he's an opening artist. Like he can't help if he does good. But maybe he was trying to make sure you're like, "Look, stay in your lane, know the culture," kinda thing? I don't know. But I heard he
Okay.
could be intimidating like that, like,
Yeah,
you
he's
know?
like 6'4" or something
Oh
like that.
my
He's a tall
gosh.
guy. Him,
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised at how tall he was. EPMD, they're tall too. They're something like 6'4" with both of them. I was like, man, these some tall guys. A lot of
How
times you
tall are
see
you?
guys on TV, they're shorter.
You look tall. How tall are you? 6 feet?
6 feet, 6'1".
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
tall. That's tall. Yeah, so 6'4" isn't too far from you. Like, it's very far for me, but not for you. Yeah.
I mean, they were 6'4" and solid. They weren't thin guys. I'm like, man, these some big dudes up in here.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I didn't realize
but they weren't
KRS-One
like,
was that tall. Well, he does look tall, actually. I didn't realize he was a 6'3", 6'4", though. That's tall.
yeah, he's a tall guy.
Oh, wow.
Hey,
Yeah,
DJ Jones, Cincinnati's
KRS-One's
way back.
amazing. Wow. If you had anyone to perform with, like, say, DJing, say if you could perform with anyone.
Ooh, you mean DJ like for a rapper?
Yeah, like say if you're opening up, well, it could be anyone, could be a rapper, could be a singer. Like, is there anyone that comes to mind or a few people where that would be amazing to open up for?
Oh man, that's a I don't, that's I don't anybody. I don't know.
Maybe we'll say rapper.
I
Maybe
mean,
we'll say some rap. We'll make it easier. Maybe.
to open
I
up
don't know if that's
for.
easier.
I mean, if you talk,
Yeah.
so you're saying opening up for. I mean, it could be anybody. Man,
I know it's a
well,
tough one.
they're not alive anymore. I was thinking maybe Digital
Okay,
Underground,
so
but he's
even if they weren't alive, it's okay. You can still say,
oh.
"Oh, Digital Underground." That's a good one.
So I would probably pick some rapper, somebody that's well, LL Cool J. I'll say that. I would say
Ooh, that's
somebody who has a lot of different styles or whatever. So you have maybe different kinds of fans because he sings or raps or different things.
yeah.
Or if it's maybe Prince, because then you got Prince. I always consider him his own genre. So you got funk fans that like Prince. You got rock fans that like Prince. You got blues fans. You got R&B. I mean, he plays all kind of things. So I like playing different kinds of music, so it would be a fan base that likes different things. So I guess that would be
Yeah,
the
for
type of artist I
sure.
would open
Yeah,
for.
that's good. Ooh,
So I wouldn't feel
Mariposa
judged or
says,
felt like I'm
sh-
in a this box I can play whatever.
s- sorry guys, if I'm overlapping my Wi-Fi is cutting in and out. This is so bad on this computer. Um,
Bahama.
shoot. So there could be an overlap between us. It's just because it keeps cutting out and stopping and then going again and then speeding up. Your voice is speeding up like a robot
Oh,
on me.
okay.
So
Uh-oh.
if we overlap, that's the reason why. It hasn't been this bad in a while, but it's actually pretty bad tonight. So I gotta figure it out. It's okay. Mariposa says Bahamadia. That's a good one. Is she still doing music? I should Google her. I haven't seen her. Um, Let us know if Bahamadia is still out there doing music. Bronx Harlem Girl says Big Daddy Kane. Did you ever have a crush on
Yeah,
Big
he was
Daddy
the
Kane,
favorite.
ladies? Let us know if you did. A lot of my friends out here crushes on Big Daddy Kane. He seems to be popular with the ladies, like Method Man. Method Man is like hugely popular amongst the ladies, and Big Daddy Kane, I find. Um,
Hey, shout out to Father
oh,
Damien.
Mariposa. Yeah, I think that was your mom's crush, I think. Oh, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's so weird. Now I can't even click on any of these comments. That's never happened before. This is so strange.
I'm
Oh,
seeing you click on him.
okay. Oh, now it's working. That's weird. How you doing, Father Damien? Good to see you as well. Oh, ooh, he follows you. Ooh, nice. What did you do to get him to follow you? Now we got to Google Bronx Harlem Girl to see what her content is for him to
Who
follow
who
her.
follows her? Big Daddy
That's
Kane. Who
amazing.
follows her?
Yeah, Big Daddy Kane. Big Daddy Kane. Get me an interview, Bronx Harlem Girl. Get me an interview. Come on, girl. Get me an interview. Work it. Talk to him if he's on your IG.
So I like watching like interviews,
Oh,
and he seemed like a real cool guy. I don't know, just based off his interviews, he seemed like a real cool, down to earth guy. Big Daddy Kane. Uh oh, you're frozen again. So she said, "Oh, well, she's gone." She told me that if she ever have any issues or freezing, that go ahead and talk to the chat. So I guess I'll do that until she comes back. Yeah, Father, pray for her and her internet feed. She needs it.
Oh man,
Oh,
this
she's back.
I don't know why it's so bad tonight. And now all the messages have deleted. I can't see a thing. I'm going to check through my phone. Do you guys see me?
Yeah, yeah, we do.
Oh,
We see
okay.
you're back. You were gone for a moment.
Ah,
Father
shoot.
Damien said he's praying for the feed. So
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. This hasn't happened, but anyways, we're gonna keep it. We got like 10 minutes left. We're gonna keep it going. Let's see here. And yeah, I know I told Ron Love to talk to the chat room if it goes out. Um,
yeah,
so that's okay. If you guys got any last minute questions for DJ Ron Love, drop it in the chat as well. And so, if you could have anything on your bucket list to do for DJing, what would that be? Like doing an arena, jumping on a truck and, around the city, doing a sporting event?
yeah, those all sound pretty good. They're yeah. See, those what are those outside those big ones that they love like what's the outdoor event? It's in another country. Is it
Like a
Belgium?
festival?
Yeah, I think that would be cool.
Oh, yeah, a festival would be
Is it
really cool.
what's it Belgium? What is it? It's a big one they have all the time. There's a couple of things that would be cool. I would like to do. I would like to be in a position, or I guess be good enough or consider good enough to do a boiler room set online.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Um,
No one said that yet.
I would like to. I
Can
don't
you
think I've
explain
ever
that to
seen this
people?
before.
Can you explain that
Oh,
to people what it
so
is?
I don't even know who or what boiler room is, but they'll have DJs on and they'll feature them and they'll do like an hour set or something, hour or 2 hour set, and it's on YouTube. Boiler room. A lot of people have pretty popular boiler room sets. One of K Tronada had a really popular one. I don't know, have you ever
Mhm.
seen that boiler room set with K Tronada?
No, I don't think so. I gotta check it
It's
out. Actually, after you mention, I'm gonna check it out probably after the show, see what I think I because other DJs have talked about it like a while
hmm
ago. So I should. Do you see a
so a
lot of
lot of
female
famous DJs.
DJs
Um, I don't
on
know if I
there?
ever remember any. I haven't
No.
watched a lot of. I mean, there's a few of them that I watched. I don't like look for it religiously and watch. I think the first time I heard about it is when I saw Jazzy Jeff on there, and I watched it and enjoyed it. And so this K Tronada, his boiler room is kind of amazing to me. He's in a small club,
Mhm.
and it's I don't know. Do you like watch? Are you a people watcher? Do you like going places and watching people? If you do, or for those who do, if you watch this video, K Tronada Boiler Room, he's DJing. It's a dope set that he's DJing. But in addition to that, you got all the people around him that are dancing. They all have their own story. You can watch this video over and over and focus on a different person in the crowd, and it's entertaining.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely have to check that out. Hey, DJ Too Fast Eddie in the building. How you doing? Good to see you. Um, let's see. I'm just looking at some of your comments here. Um, okay, yeah, so that would be cool. What about not DJing? Like, say if you had something on your life bucket list to do, what would you want to do? Say if you only had like a few months to live, what would be on that try to do?
Now,
Oh, did you hear
I
that?
watched I watched a few of your
This internet is
interviews,
so horrible.
and
Mhm.
I've heard you ask that question to different people. So I
I
did
always
my
ask the
research,
question.
and even
Okay.
after that, I still don't have a good answer. I don't know. I really I don't know.
What about like traveling? Is there any places that you'd like to see?
I kind of always wanted to see. I want to go to Israel, but um, the things that well, I don't. Yeah, I guess I would like to go just for the experience. Things I might want to see probably is not, there, or it's a tourist thing, or whatnot. But yeah, I think I would like to see, Israel, Palestine area.
Oh
I
yeah,
wouldn't
I
mind
definitely
seeing. I
want
would think it
to
would
do
be
that.
cool to see the pyramids for some reason. It just seemed like it would be a cool thing to do. But
Totally. Yeah.
yeah, it would be
I
nice.
wish I could have done that. That definitely would have been on my I wanted to do that years ago. I was gonna do that. I think it was only 1,400, guys. Now it's like five, $6,000 to go. It's insane to go
To
to
Israel.
Israel.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
But there's so much history there, and just like my
yeah,
friends that went there were just like blown away by the history and the culture and just yeah, you know,
and then
that would be
it
amazing.
doesn't seem
Yeah.
safe either, though. That's the thing. It's like it's never seemed like it's a good time
Not
because you never
now.
know when
Yeah.
something might break out.
Exactly. But you never know, like, around the
Yeah,
world right now, like, even in the
oh, yeah,
States, like, what's gonna we don't know, nothing, there's so much even with us, like, there's so many different things that are changing, right? But you gotta
yeah.
just I
But
think
that
you
area
gotta
is
live your life
volatile,
and go.
though.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Yeah, that
you have
area.
maybe a higher chance. Yeah, anything can happen anywhere, but some places seem more like a hotbed.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. But it's what we see in the media too, because it's not always like I interviewed, DJ Sarah B. She's from Israel, and that was a very interesting interview. And she said she lived out there for 10 years and it was beautiful, like the culture, everything.
mhm,
So you kind of learn a different perspective from what you see in the media, right? It's kind of like Mexico. You always hear how crazy it is. Um, you know, um,
mhm.
but like someone came through my chat saying, "Oh, I moved from Canada to Mexico. It's great. It's fine." But then we always hear all these crazy stories, right? With the cartel and everything. So who knows? I don't know. It's hard
Yeah,
to know. Yeah.
yeah. So my company I work for, my day job, um, we have plants in Mexico, and there's times where they would have to travel there. And there
Mhm.
was a period within the last few years that it was like, no, you can't go to Mexico because of how dangerous it was. I guess some cartels or gangs were doing things, and it wasn't safe for them to go. So
Yeah, but
yeah,
then she said that she's never had a problem. Like it's been fine. It's more safer than Canada. So I'm like, oh, I don't know. Everyone has different
yeah,
perspectives. Oh, Bronx Harlem Girl says I would want to visit Japan. I love the culture. That's interesting. That's
yeah. I've heard
interesting.
good
That's
things
cool.
about Japan. People that I know who's been there. I also wouldn't mind seeing the Great Wall of China.
Mhm.
That
Yeah,
might
that
be
would be cool.
interesting to see.
Do you guys travel
Uh oh.
much, like, as a family?
Oh, you froze up on me.
Oh,
Start that
shoot.
question over again.
Okay. Do you guys travel much as a family, like, anywhere outside?
Not
Or
out of
not
the
really?
country. We would like go to like vacation spots within the country, but not rarely out or never outside the country. But my
That's
wife just got her passport this year, so now she's like, where can we go? Let's go somewhere.
Yes, you gotta go, you gotta go. Well, I mean, you're coming to Canada. You have your passport though in check, right?
Yeah,
You gotta have
yeah.
that, yeah. Um, this guy makes me laugh, man. He's funny. Urban Knight. His comments earlier
Oh,
and right now he goes, "Not North Dakota." Do you live in North
no.
Dakota? I've passed through North Dakota because I don't know if you're familiar with Winnipeg, Manitoba. That's my home city, Urban Night, and we had to pass through North Dakota and South Dakota, and I kind of agree. It's like there's nothing really there, so at all. Um, no offense to anyone in North or South Dakota. I'm just like, oh, what is there to do here? It kind of reminds me a bit of Buffalo. There's not a whole lot to do in Buffalo, New York, I find too. Um, oh, we got Gowen's in the building. Says, "Come to
Hey, Ed, shout out.
Dallas." Urban Knight, what do you know about Winnipeg? Where are you from? Your face kind of looks familiar, but I can't tell with this box. What do you your face is so small. What do you know
It's a
about
buddy of mine.
Winnipeg? Sorry?
Say he's a buddy of mine. He
Oh,
used to
okay.
live in North Dakota. Shout out
Oh,
to Go Wins. That's another
you're
um,
assigned to North Dakota.
schoolmate.
Oh, nice. Oh, assigned to North Dakota. Were you in the army? Actually, is mine not army base in South Dakota, I think. Yeah, so we would
North
always
Dakota.
drive through there to get to Minneapolis. Like we've gone to Minneapolis like 8 times. We would your wife wouldn't like Minneapolis. It's too cold. Like if
Yeah,
you
for
guys
sure.
can't handle Detroit, you'll be like forget Minneapolis, you know? So,
No, yeah, she's not a fan of the cold. She actually
oh my
turns out
god.
to have it's called SAD, seasonal something disorder, because she's miserable during the winter. And
Aw. No, I hear
so,
that. It's like that
yeah,
in Toronto too. Like I agree with your wife. Like I would go if I get a chance. I would leave here. Yes, seasonal depression. It's so
seasonal
true.
affective disorder is sad.
So true.
It's
She
sad.
should does she have a light? She should buy a light or something. My friend uses it
You know,
instead of
I did. I
work.
bought her last this past winter before I bought her one of those, yeah, those bright lights, and she
Mhm.
never used it though. It's like I want like
Oh.
use it. I bought this thing. I want to see if it works or whatever,
Oh, if
but
she doesn't use it,
she
bring it to Canada. I'll
she
use your
doesn't
ticket.
use it. It's
I'll use your
I'm
scratch bastard ticket, and I'll use the light. What else can I get? Let's see, do you have a Detroit
now
hat?
my daughters love it because it's a
I'm
great
just
light
joking.
for when they're doing TikToks. It's super
Oh,
bright. I mean,
that's so funny. Oh, it's
I
really
don't
bright?
yeah, I don't, struggle with it, but when you plug it in, it does like wake you up. It's super
Wow.
bright.
I don't wouldn't want a bright light. Like, when you're streaming, do you have a bright light on you? I have my ring light and that's it, but I feel like it's too bright. I like it all dark, like dim, you know?
Hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I do.
Mhm.
Yeah, I have one now.
Bronx Harlem's
Uh
like,
oh.
how many kids do
How
you
many
have?
kids and the ages? So I
And
have
ages.
4 kids.
Oh,
I have to pause
wow.
for that because I raised two of my nephews too, so I can count them because they call me dad. So
Oh, that's
my
awesome.
oldest daughter is she just turned 30 last month.
Wow. 30.
Um, and then after her is my nephew who is 24.
Mhm.
24. Yeah, he's 24. My I have a daughter who is 21. She just turned 21 last month. And a nephew who just turned 21 a couple of weeks ago. So, so
Are you
21,
really
21,
strict
so 23.
Are you really strict on them if you were, like, a PK kid? Are you now kinda like your father, like, where it's the roles are kinda changed, you're a bit strict on them or no?
I am, well, I think that's relative.
That's
They
true.
might say I'm strict. Think, I think I'm more lenient than my parents were. What, unfortunately though, because I will say now, I wish my parents were more strict. I wish my parents would discipline me more. So that's, weird that, I would ever say that or that people would think that. But now after the fact, I wish they would have pushed me harder in certain areas. Uh,
Mhm.
oh, but to finish, so I still got two more kids I didn't name. So my my youngest daughter is 18, and my youngest child is my son who is 16.
Oh, okay. I feel like I just had a flashback of the Kendra G show, dating show. Do you ever watch it? And then she'll ask their kids, they'll say they have 5 or 6 kids, and some will lie. So she's like, "What are the ages?" So they pause because they get confused because they're lying about having kids. I was
Well,
like,
were
"Wow,
they
you would
were
make
they
it on the show because you're not pausing. You
were
actually
they
know."
guys or were there women that was
Both.
awesome?
That's a
Oh,
shocking thing. I'm like, "Why would a woman lie
yeah.
about having 5
But
kids
but
online?" I'm
us
so
fathers,
confused.
we can forget because I forget birthdays and it's like, that's. I used to carry their baby pictures in my wallet because on the baby picture it had their birthday at the bottom. So because I
Mhm.
never remembered like who was born which day. So yeah.
Yeah. Bronx Harlem, do you watch the
But I
show?
can
I know
remember
you're
how
laughing.
many home runs somebody hit or how many,
Oh my
three
gosh.
pointers. It's
Well, that's
weird,
good. But you answered the question very well. You didn't pause, so we know that you really do have 4 kids those ages. Not like you would have any reason to lie, but you just reminded me of the questions she asks on the show, and then she gets really mad when they start stumbling. I'm like, wow, he's got
Mm.
4 kids and he really didn't stumble. Um, and oh, DJ Too Fast Eddie says, I have 2 kids. I was more strict on my daughter than my son, of course. Right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's good.
yeah.
What do they think about you being their dad being a DJ and streaming? Like, what do they think of that? Do they think it's kind of cool, or are they kind of like, oh man, my dad's like streaming and DJing?
I don't think they think very much of it because they hardly
No?
ever, every once in a while they might pop in the chat, but or my son would, but most of the time, like there, I don't think any of them on now. I told them my
Aw.
son's playing video games. I just
Oh,
told him just
yeah?
don't be yelling and stuff while I'm on, being interviewed. But
Yeah.
yeah, they
Okay.
don't really. They'll watch some other dude, talk crap in his basement, but
Mhm.
you know,
That's true. Cause
they don't,
yeah, those are
they like different music anyway though.
you wouldn't ever bring them on? They wouldn't have any interest in coming on?
No, I don't think so.
No? I feel like
No,
you're on your own when it
nah,
comes to
they
the
don't.
music
Yeah,
over
it's just me.
there. Yeah. Oh, that's
They'll make
okay.
TikTok videos, but they're not trying to jump on. If they have to come down here, ask for something, I'll say, "Oh, you're about to be in the camera or whatever." They try to jump out. They don't want to be on camera. So
Mhm. So besides streaming, like what do you do off streaming and off your show? What are some hobbies or some things that you like? I know you mentioned gaming earlier.
yeah, I've been a huge Madden fan for maybe 30 years or so. I've been playing Madden,
Mhm.
playing in leagues. So I was like serious Madden player playing in these leagues. Even before we were playing online, we would play offline. We'd go to
Mhm.
a designated house every Saturday and play a couple of games. Every week until we play a whole season, and we got into it. We'd give trophies out to whoever won the Super Bowl and
Oh,
stuff like
wow.
that. So we were. It was pretty intense. I took a break a little after I got married. I retired, but then got back into it about 10 years ago, 12 years ago.
Mhm.
So I've been
Nice.
playing, so that takes up, time, particularly in the colder months where there's not much to do outside through the winter and fall.
Mhm.
I also very active in my church. I mentioned teaching. I teach Bible studies, Sunday school, preach sometimes. I play keyboard for the
Ooh,
church.
you
So
should stream that. That would be cool to see.
I
I would
guess,
definitely
yeah.
watch it.
I
You
mean, we
should.
actually our church is on YouTube, so but I'm never on camera. I'm rarely
Aw,
on camera.
man. Yeah,
So the
that's
singers
cool.
are, but I'm playing on the side.
Mhm.
But
Are you all, like, dressed up like a plaid suit and, like, snakeskin shoes as well? With,
no,
like, a pink
no,
top underneath? No?
no.
I
On
feel like
maybe on
Detroit
Easter.
has
Not
its own.
I'm not a dressy up. I mean, I don't mind dressing up from time to time, but
I noticed
I'm
Detroit
not that
kinda has their
that
own flavor, their own style. It's like Ohio. It kinda reminds me of that. Like, where guys go to the Steppers events and they have, like, the plaid suits and they're all, like, you know
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's not just
They're
a
known for
normal suit.
dressing. Yeah,
Like, you come to Toronto, you're just gonna get the plain blues, plain black suit, plain it's very boring here. But when you go to Detroit or Ohio exactly, you get the top hat, which I love. Like, I wish we had that in Canada, we don't have your
yeah.
flavor.
You got guys, yeah. There's people that are really into fast. I never have really been into it, but I
Mhm.
know guys that do. And to answer fast Eddie's question, my Xbox uh, Series S, Series X. I play Madden on Xbox.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah. So I used to work with some guys. Man, they would talk about clothes all the time. And they would
Mm.
actually they had a contest, like they would wear suits and stuff to work. And this is a job that you don't have to dress up at all. Matter of fact, we can wear jeans or whatever. But they, for whatever reason, they decided to have a contest, and these guys really get into their clothes.
Ooh, I like
Um,
that. Can you send us
he,
a video so that I could play that on
man,
my
this
show,
is like
please?
20, 25 years ago. but
Oh, that's
but they had the shoes to match, and the guy was like, one of the things he would do was he'd buy a suit and he would ask. So when he got it hemmed, whatever, because he'd get it hemmed up for him to fit perfectly,
Mhm.
tailored for himself. He asked the seamstress or whoever for the extra material, and he would take that extra material and cover the buttons of his suit, so the buttons would be the
Oh,
same
wow.
color as the suit. So I mean, these guys was
Really?
like going extra, and you got to have the shoes that match, right? And all that. So I never, never for whatever reason, never really got into to dressing like that. But yeah, it's people that they gotta have this, they gotta have this, they match, they gotta have the hat to go with it, they gotta have all that.
Nice. Well,
And
you
so
probably have
yeah,
a top
you got a
hat.
style.
Urban Knight says you
Top
have a
hat?
top hat. He says
Oh,
you wear a
he's
top hat.
joking.
Are you
Yeah,
sure?
no, he's
You sure about
joking.
that? I no, I think I've only seen you in baseball caps like this. I don't think I've seen you
Heck,
um,
who owns top
in
hats?
like
Like,
a
is that
fedora.
even a thing that people
What do
still
you mean
have?
who owns it? That's so good. I would yeah, I
A
love
top
well,
hat?
you know me, I love, like, hats, so, yeah. Urban Knights, like, I'll work on him. What
Yeah,
you're
I bet.
describing reminds me of the Silver Fox Gang. Have you heard of them on IG? They're like a group of men
Mm,
that like, have like silver, like gray beards, and they're all like styling like Steve Harvey with the top hats, and they're all walking in places, and all the ladies are
yeah.
going crazy. I think they're called the Silver Fox Gang. Is that right, guys? I don't know.
I never heard of them, but yeah, I mean, it's a lot of they take pride in their appearance, and it's a
Yes.
joke that had been going on for the years where Detroiters will dress up to go to the mall, and that's
Mhm. I
that's
like
the
that. Yeah,
thing.
you see them on, TikTok. I almost saw one at my church on Sunday, guys, a few weeks ago, because my pastor's from Virginia, and he's like, "Oh, here's my father. My father surprised me." Like, he's on stage, and his father gets up, and me and my friend are like, "Whoa," like, 'cause he looked like a silver fox. Like, he looked like
Mm,
one of those guys, and it is actually kind of funny because the elders of my last church, they're Caribbean and they're always like razzing me. And they're like, you need to go out with an older man, honey Flo. They'll treat you better. You need to go out with someone older. And I'm always arguing with them. I'm like, listen, you guys are in your 60s. I don't want to date someone my mom's age. Like, I don't.
mm,
And
right.
but they keep bugging me, like, they're like, "Someone older will be better for you, more mature, will know how to treat you," whatever. Anyways, so
Yeah.
make a long story short, when I was sitting in on Sunday, a few and I hope my pastor never watches this interview, like, for a split second, I was like, "Whoa," when I saw and my pastor's around my age, like, 40s. And when I saw his dad, I was like, "Oh, like, he looks like he's part of the Silver Fox Gang, like, he's very handsome." I'm like, "That may make me switch over to meet someone older, you never know." Yeah. So, anyways,
Yeah.
guys,
Well.
you gotta see the Silver Fox thing, right? Yes, Bronx Harlem says very handsome men. It's true. It really is. Um, let's see here. So
South.
before we wrap up, I was also curious. Oh yeah, Bronx Harlem's like think outside the box. I know, but you're
Yeah.
okay. Bronx Harlem. Would you go out with someone your mom's age? Be honest. Would you? I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, if he wore a plaid suit and maybe a top hat, maybe. Maybe we will negotiate. Maybe that will change me. But, yeah, I don't know. Oh, Mariposa's is like, "Nope." King Melody's laughing. I was curious too. You've been married for a long time, right?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. 23 years.
Wow, that's
It'll be
amazing.
23 years in August.
That's crazy. 23 years. Congratulations on that too.
Oh, thanks.
Um, I was gonna say, like, what kind of like keeps that going. I know I talked to T-Rel and she's first lady, his wife, about that as well. But I'm sure there's like a lot of ups and downs and people change, but I'm always just curious, like what would you say to people to kind of help them? Because a lot of people are going through divorces right now. A lot of people we've met on Twitch and like a lot of people are
Mhm.
just going through stuff, right? So, is there any advice?
Yeah.
Not saying every marriage is a perfect marriage because it takes work, but is there anything you could say that has kind of helped you guys still stick like together?
I would say, ooh, be picky as much as you can beforehand.
Mhm.
I had a
Mm.
list of stuff that I wanted, and I wrote it down. And it's funny because before, when people have found, ladies have found out about the list or whatever, or even my friends, my cousins, they was, got an attitude like, "Who are you to have a list?" You know, and it was like, well, really, everybody have a list. They may not write it down on paper, but they have what they want. And so I would say start off by, if you're going into it, evaluate what's important because that list actually for me helped me not get sidetracked
Hmm.
because here's a pretty girl over here, but she's pretty and I'm attracted to her. But the stuff on my list, she's not fitting. So don't get distracted by that. So that was for me what the list was for. To keep me from not losing sight of what's important. Because most of the things on the list weren't even physical, but for whatever reason, people assumed that it was physical when they found out I had a list. And
Mhm.
so the spiritual stuff was the most important things. But you know, even in praying and stuff and asking God, for the right person and having my list, it was something very important that I found out that I didn't even think about that wasn't on my list, and that was maturity. My wife was mature. She wasn't a scatterbrain or whatever you might. She had a good head on her shoulders, and so
Mhm.
I think for that was helpful. It was like we don't have like little petty fights about silly stuff that's not important. It's just make the keep the big thing, the big things and the small things. Don't make mountains out of molehills. And we
Mhm.
don't may not always agree on things, but those are small compared to the major, things that they could be.
Mhm.
Um, Patience, of course, that's necessary for any relationship you might have. You got to be patient with the person that are friends with. Is patient with your wife or your husband, because we mess up. We all mess up
Mhm.
at times. So having that patience is being able to say, okay, uh, you're human. I'm a human.
Mhm.
So I want to say common sense, but common sense is not common. It's like just basic stuff to me. I think it's she's not perfect. Okay, imagine I have to imagine you are living with another human being. They
Mhm.
come from a different background, may have different quirks or whatever, and you're talking about now living and sharing those things together, and it's just a reality. They're not going to always think the same way you're going to think. They might not always have the same opinion. Matter of fact, I don't have the same opinion on anything that I don't believe anybody in this world. Like I might just I'm sure I disagree with somebody about something. And that's just a
Mhm.
fact. And you realize that, and I think that's maturity. It's not about you. That's probably the
Hmm.
most mature
Do you
thing you can
think it
think of.
gets
Everything is not always about you. So,
Sure. So true. Do you think it gets, like, harder after that much time, or does it become easier because now you just learn, okay, maybe don't sweat the small stuff? Like, I also heard that,
hmm
you know, there's no point trying to be right. Like, sometimes, and as women, we can kind of, and I may be generalizing, at least for me, I'll say sometimes, and that was a powerful statement to me. It's not always the best to try to always be right, right? Like sometimes it's good
right,
to just
right.
let it go and move on because that will avoid an argument. Like what what mission is it going to do to you even if you are right, right? But then you have like
hmm
a disagreement. So they say sometimes it's better to just, say sorry or like bite your pride and just kind of continue together, right? Instead of trying to prove that you're right, So I don't know.
Oh,
What do you
right.
think of
Shout
that?
out to DJ. Shout out to DJ Fast Eddie for 48 years. Congrats.
Yeah, 48 years.
Right.
Your little picture doesn't even look like you're 48 years old. Everyone
Right.
zoom in on him. DJ Fassetti. You look so young there, you know?
So it reminds me of
Um,
something you said. It reminds me of something that my dad told me. I don't know if I was right. It was either right after I got married or right before I was going to get married. And he said, just remember, son, even when you're right, sometimes you're wrong. And
Hmm.
it sounds deep and cryptic, and I'm like, what exactly does that mean? I thought I know what that mean, and to me it was similar to what you just said, that yeah, you can be right, but depending on how you carry that thing out or whatever, you end up being wrong. So here we got Urban Ice, so you can either be right or you can be happy. And so
Yes,
I don't
exactly.
have to be right all the time. I mean, I used to be the person. I used to be I gotta have the last word, and I don't know when it happened, but when somebody pointed that out, so you gotta have the last word. I was like, you know what? I don't have to have to have the. I don't have to have the last word. If I'm right, and I think I am, then whether I have the last word or not is not going to change anything. So I'm like, okay, you can have the last word. That's just in general. So this is before I ever got married. And so in the same sense now afterwards, it's like, I don't have to win the argument, or I don't have to be declared the winner. And she's more important than any point or argument that I can win anyway.
Mhm. Wow, I like that. That's awesome. Is it easier after, like, 23 years? Because sometimes I just don't understand, like, why people break up after 20 years. I'm like, "You're literally you're past that mark, right?" Like, maybe me as a single doesn't understand why people just decide, especially the last couple years, I've met so many people that just stopped their 20-year relationships, but, like, a couple weeks prior, they're posting pictures of their anniversary and how great it was. I think maybe the pandemic was a
Hmm.
real wake-up call, because if you weren't used to spending so much time with your partner or your spouse, and now you're spending every moment with them, and I don't know, maybe that could be an adjustment, but do you kind of, like, I don't know, I don't know, I'm just
Um,
surprised people break up after 20 years, like, when you're already
yeah,
there, you know? Like,
it's rough because I hear people say that you already got through the heavy lifting, like the
yeah,
first
yeah,
few years is the heavy lifting. But I mean, I think it depends on the goals of if the couples aren't aligned in what their goals are, what's important to them,
mhm.
and do you have that growing apart thing? But then there's ebbs and flows because you got kids are involved, and our relationship's not the same after the kids. I hope and I can't wait to get to the point where it's an empty nest syndrome,
Oh,
where it's
yeah,
just me
yeah,
and her, and then maybe some of those dynamics. I don't. We never really had that because when I married, she had adopted our oldest daughter, so she was already we already had a child, so we never
oh,
had the
wow.
time together. It was just us two.
Yeah,
So I'm actually kind of looking forward to that. But um, my youngest is 16, and hopefully uh, he don't drag his legs, dragging his feet, getting out of here, and
you'll be like,
being able
"Get
to
out,
stand on his own.
18, get out." Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But eventually, hopefully it'll come where it's just the two of us, and then we can probably do more things. Maybe travel together and then just
yeah,
enjoy each other more. But when you got kids and stuff, it's not a lot of me and her time. So again, it's ebbs and flows, and you go through different seasons. I just
mhm.
found out. Let me see. When she was pregnant with, was it my youngest? With our youngest, or either the youngest son or daughter, she's like, I didn't like you during that time. For I don't know
Oh,
what it
shoot.
was, or the uh, uh, are you there?
Yeah, yeah. Can you see
Oh,
me?
my
Okay.
screen went black.
Oh, yeah,
I
you're
don't know what
frozen.
it was. I don't know
Mhm.
what it was. It was hormones or whatever. She was like, I just did not like you during that time when when she was pregnant, and I guess somewhere along the line it passed over. But that's just interesting. So I mean, things that go on, as we get older,
Yes,
there's
things
hormones
change.
or body changes. I'm getting older. Certain things I can't do that I used to be able to do, and aches and pains and stuff. And so yeah, it's. But I think
Knees
if you're
cracking,
committed
ankles
to
cracking.
yeah, if you're committed to staying together, then you going in the ups and downs together, and I guess that's the main thing. It's not me doing it and her doing it, but we're doing it together, and so
That's so
um,
true. Hey, it looks like he's frozen, guys. Is he frozen on your end? Can you see that?
yeah, my screen went totally black.
I don't know why it went frozen. That's weird. Oh, hopefully both of
But you
us.
can hear me
Hopefully you guys.
okay?
I could hear you. Can you guys hear him out there? Let me know. Oh, but can you guys hear though? Okay, Bronx Harlem says good now. Ron is frozen. Yeah, I'm not sure why he's frozen. Okay, so Urban Knight says we can hear. Okay, perfect. Um, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, I don't know
I hear
why.
you, and I guess you can hear me. I just can't see anything because the screen's black.
I wonder
But
why.
yeah, I can just.
You know what you could do is you could exit out quickly and then and come back in. You know what I mean? Like exit StreamYards and come back in. You could do that
Okay.
because your screen's totally frozen. That is
All
so
right.
weird. I
That's
would think that
interesting.
it's more from my end, guys, because today, I don't know why it's been. I am using a new MacBook though, and it does require a lot more
Oh,
power.
something happened.
He's sitting on the 80s couch like this.
All right. Well, let's see here.
Yeah, technology, right, guys? This hasn't happened in a while, but that's okay. Okay, I think he's going to come back soon. So I hope you guys are doing well and enjoying getting to know DJ Ronlove. I've been, it's been a great conversation tonight, just getting to know him a little bit better. Um, he's always come on and supported me, which I definitely appreciate. Great guy too, great family man as well. Okay, there
Oh,
we
there we
go.
go.
Okay.
Hey,
Well,
I'm on the radio.
if you come back to Toronto, though, I will ask if you could pull up in a black suit in a Cadillac with a top hat. That's
A
what I
top
remember
hat.
of
Who has
Detroit.
a top hat?
Come on. Well, I got like 70 something hats, but yeah, I feel like your style is very similar to Ohio. I wonder if people in Ohio feel the same way. Like, I feel like it's like you guys are ready to go
Um,
to a Steppers event or something, you know? So it's like that same
yeah.
style, I notice. Yeah. You
I never.
definitely gotta
Well,
have
I
the
never noticed Ohio style.
no.
I got family in Cincinnati.
I noticed it from Vader Mix watching some of
I don't
his
know.
events, and they all
I
kinda
guess
have
maybe Cleveland.
yes. Yeah, I think it
No,
was
okay.
Cleveland. Yeah, exactly. So, let's see here. Okay, so I think,
I got a
yeah, we're
good
both
friend
back.
in Cleveland. So I never, yeah, I don't know. I never thought about Cleveland being that way. I know Detroit's been had a reputation of that dressing and stuff like that for years.
Yeah, for sure. Father Damien's like, "Call Mr. Roper." I forgot about Mr. Roper. You guys are gonna
Oh
definitely
yeah.
Urban Knights like, "Ohio,
All you
how
guys
dare
are
you?"
dating yourself.
Mm? Sorry? Oh,
So all you
we're
guys,
dating
yeah, they're
ourselves?
dating this, yeah,
But
with
where's
the
the plastic? Where's the
knowing about.
plastic on the couch? You should have the plastic on the couch.
Oh, I don't think they have plastic on their
My
couch.
mom still does that with pillows and it drives me crazy. Like she wants to keep everything clean. I'm like, I don't even know how to explain what it's like lying on a pillow with hard plastic, guys. It's not even just like soft plastic. My mom
Sweat.
plasters it
You
with
sweat
this
on
like
it.
hard plastic, and she's so particular with me sitting on her white couches or like, I hear squeaking, it's just like,
Yeah.
why we're not living in the 80s. Why are you putting blankets on the couch? Oh, well, you have jeans on. Why are you putting plastic
Gotta
over your
protect it.
pillows? Yeah, that's what she says. She's like trying to protect. Yes, that's another thing she said. Oh, Bronx,
You know,
Harlem. I
it's
had
like the cell
plastic on
phones,
my couches due to allergies. Aw.
but you
That's
know, it's like
kind
the
of
cell phones, like they make Apple and Samsung and those companies make these beautiful cell phones, but
mhm.
you got to put a case on it so you can't even really see it. So it really don't matter like what color it is and all that because you got a case on it anyway.
Oh man, I just feel like my mom goes overboard, like with the plastic. It's like really, like I feel like I'm sleeping on a hard rock right now with all this plastic, you know? Anyways, but
Yeah,
yeah, you're
yeah,
right.
it's
I guess they
uncomfortable and it's hot. It sweats. You sweat on it and everything. But a lot of times, it's like the plastic is in the living room that you're not supposed to go into. It's just for seeing. You're not supposed to actually sit in there. You had
mhm.
those rooms.
Mhm. Father Damien's like, maybe Honey Flo used to run and jump on the couch. I think I did.
Oh
I think
yeah,
I have on this
he's what.
couch, and this is a white leather couch. This is a nice couch. So,
Ooh,
yeah. you know,
I'm still
it,
scared to buy white things.
oh, I like white. Like I don't know why. I think my mom's the same way. Like white leather couches, white kitchen, everything white, but you really I don't think you could have too many kids around, young kids, if you're
Yeah, I'm gonna
doing
say,
everything white.
which means you don't have any children.
No. I mean, I wish I did. Maybe some who knows, maybe in the future. Quick well, I don't know. Well, that's another story. But anyways, yeah, I don't have any
Right,
kids.
right,
But
yeah.
and yeah, my place probably wouldn't be kid proof because everything's pretty white, you know. It's not it would be kinda cool doing a place like that though, Three's Company. Wouldn't that be funny? If you actually did, like, a themed out room and you had the curtains and had, like, the couch. I don't even know if you could find a couch like that anymore. Maybe in some serial killer's place, you could probably get that couch, but I don't think, you know, or maybe you could call up, like, your auntie. Like, I kinda feel like if I called up my Indian auntie, she would probably still have that couch, or a serial killer, but, no one else. But you gotta do more
Yeah.
scenes like that. That's fun. I like it. Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that
so
scene.
I downloaded this thing, it's probably a couple years ago, and been waiting to use it. I just haven't. So yeah, today was the day.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I wanna thank you for staying this late as well. I think we've been going 2.5 hours. It's been great, kinda getting to know you more and, just sharing some of
Pleasure.
your views too. I appreciate. See, I didn't scare you that much, you know?
No, I mean, I told you, and for those in the chat, I'm an open book. So ask whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not the one that talk a lot about myself.
Mhm.
But I don't have, if you got questions, I have no issues with, saying, I'm not one like I would to volunteer my opinion or my viewpoint on things to people, even though, I preach, I don't like to come off preachy. But if you ask me, hey, I feel it's fair game.
Yeah, I'm
So
definitely gonna ask, especially with people that share the same faith. I always like asking, and I'm always just intrigued, like no judgment on anyone. It's just something I'm more intrigued with. And you don't really sit down with too many people that are like-minded or similar, you know? So I always kind of like a different perspective or seeing how you guys are handling things in entertainment or with your shows or how people react to you, if it's kind of the uh, same things, we go through here, so it's
yeah,
definitely interesting. Yeah. But
I'm
I
a,
could
yeah,
definitely see you as a teacher. You're a great
yeah, I'm a
teacher.
teacher at heart, and from growing up, my experiences from growing up in the church is that people were doing things and didn't know why because no one ever explained them. People were afraid to ask why, and
Mhm.
so, and if you did ask, sometimes the leader or whoever may not even be able to answer the question. So as growing up as a teacher, I was like, I'm gonna explain. My issue a lot of times in class is maybe over explaining stuff, but I know a lot of people who don't know and don't sometimes don't even know to ask or even think they can ask. It's like it's a flabber. It's mind blows. It's mind blowing to me if you go to a church in a Sunday school or Bible study
Mhm.
and you can't ask questions. Like that's
For
the whole
sure.
point. You're trying to learn. Like that's what questions for. So I always invited questions, and if I have the answer, I mean, I don't have any issues with sharing it. If I don't have the answer, I'll tell you. I don't like making up stuff or giving. I mean, if you ask for my opinion, I'll give you my opinion. But it's people all over the world giving their opinions. If you're in church, I believe you want to hear what God says, what the viewpoint of what the Bible says, not a person's opinion. And
Yeah, for
so,
sure.
yeah,
Yeah,
everybody's giving opinions. You can go anywhere for an opinion. And
definitely.
so,
Yeah.
as a minister, I value that, being able to tell you what the Bible's point of view is, or what how the Bible, God through the Bible is teaching on that particular, whatever the subject is.
Yeah, and I love when people come that are so opposite and they ask questions, right? That was one thing that when I went into that human trafficking, anti-human trafficking thing and met some of the girls or met some of the survivors, like they said, look, do not come in churchy, do not come in thinking you know it all, because these women ask very basic questions, right? Like they're learning. So you really don't want someone, they actually said that they don't like church people coming in uh because sometimes it makes them feel like they're higher, right? But these girls are really going through like a lot of PTSD. Some of them are still in uh the field. Like some of them may like meet, their pimps like right after the meeting, right? So you really
Mm.
want to just like be open to people and be loving, and no question is a stupid question, right? So I learned a lot. Like
Yeah.
I hope I could try to do more there, but like it just makes us realize that sometimes we can try to perfect things or try to almost like pretend on a Sunday, right? But that'll
Yeah.
close people
That's,
off from, like, really having really true dialogue, or it may close people off from asking questions, or they may feel like, "Ugh, I'm so far away or so far removed. I'm not gonna ask." You know what I mean? So I love that
yeah.
you make it open, like, for people to talk to you, right? I think that's the right way of doing things, you know?
Yeah. It's cool. People want to know. I mean, there's
Mhm.
questions that people have and they are afraid or don't even know who to ask. That might be, is so I've said like it's well, okay. Do you watch Jeopardy at
I
all?
used to
Anybody watch
way back
Jeopardy?
in the day. Yeah.
So it would be funny how every once in a while there'll be a Bible category,
Mhm.
and I'm not very good on Jeopardy. I sometimes I watch it, and sometimes I do okay depending on the subject. But on the Bible categories, it seemed easy because if you go to Sunday school or you actually going to Bible study or read the Bible, so a lot of these questions are easy. And it's stumbling some of these great Jeopardy participants who are winning thousands of dollars and can answer all these other questions, but in the Bible
Mhm.
category they can't really answer.
Yeah.
And so the thing is, there's some things that you might learn in Sunday school that these brilliant people don't know because they haven't gone to Sunday school. They
Mhm.
don't know these things, and so it's so some of the simple things that you might think is simple is there's a lot of people that just don't know. They don't, and you might have the answers to it. You don't even have to necessarily be a theologian or gone to a seminary or any of those things, but you just read the Bible, maybe something that your parents taught you, or you went to Sunday school, and it's things that you learned that thousands or maybe even millions of people that don't know. And to you think
Mhm.
it's just a basic question. Oh, that's basic. That's nothing deep, but they don't know,
It's
so
so
it is
true.
kind of deep to them.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
they may
It's
not
so
be,
true.
and they may be afraid. They might have been something they always wanted to know, but was afraid to ask, or they want to get judged for asking a question. And
I always ask
that's the
stupid
thing.
questions, and I always speak up. I'm like the black sheep. Like people are like, "I can't believe she just said that. I can't believe she just did that," right? Like I probably gave raise people's heartbeats, especially the elders or older people, but I don't care. I'm not going to sit
Hmm.
there all quietly. It's like I want to learn for myself, and I want to dive more deeper, right, into things as well, and see what the
Yes.
truth is. I'm
Yeah.
fascinated, like, when you line up stories in the Word and you're lining up, like, archaeology and, like, stuff they're finding, and I'm super fascinated by that. I'm like, "Wow," like, or even
Yeah.
listening to people debating, like, debating, say, an atheist or agnostic, or, like, people that are maybe Muslim or, from other religions coming. There's a guy I watch, I can't remember his name, he's, like, a tall, skinny tall guy, and he's always debating like university students, and it's very fascinating because he's very patient, and sometimes people get mad at him or come at him, but and he's not like, "Oh, hey, I know it all," but he always is very factual, logical, and really, like, reaches people, you know? And I find that so
Hmm.
fascinating. Like, even, during Pride Month, like, I'll see some guys walk out and speak, and it kind of makes you think like what would compel people to be on a street corner like you know talking on a mic like reaching people, like what would compel them to be at Caravana or some of the events that we might attend or whatever, right? What would
You
make
mean like a
them.
street preacher?
Yeah, kind of, like, I'm
No.
always fascinated by that, like, what would make people wanna stand there and get yelled at, or you know what I mean? Like, have people come at
Yeah.
them. But it's pretty
Yeah.
fascinating when you see people, like, listen to each other, and you see how they communicate with one another, and then you could see this guy like yelling, just yelling and tearing a strip out of this preacher guy, but then at the end he's like, "Hey man, I kind of like you, like, do you want to go for Starbucks after?" And I'm like, "What?" Like, I am so confused right now. And I feel like that's kind of the way of doing things. None of us are perfect, but I feel like that's the way you kind of reach people, is like through love and maybe listening to them, and not everyone's going to have the same viewpoint as you, right? But if you truly love
Yeah.
people from the right place, then somehow some way um something will connect. And I see that all the time watching different things.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
that old saying that, no one cares how much you know until they know how much you care.
Yeah,
You
so
know,
true.
people
Yeah.
just, want somebody to relate to or talk to,
It's so true. I just
and
hope he
we
never
should
calls
be
me there.
approachable.
I hope that never happens. I'm like, I will be running the other way.
If
But
he
that's
does,
awesome that
you'll
you
handle
do
it.
it. Oh, no,
If he
I'll be
does,
running. I'll be
he
running.
will equip you to do it.
I
So
will go.
he
I
won't
have
leave you
my
out there
size
hanging.
I got my size 7, Nike shoes on, like, I'll be running, guys. I'll be running that way, just remember that. Maybe I am a little bit right now. Maybe I am a little bit right now too. But that's awesome that you're doing that. I could definitely see that. Um, and yeah, and I wish you the best. This was an awesome interview. It was so good getting to know you a little bit more. Make sure you guys are
I
adding DJ
appreciate you.
Ron Love, the one and only DJ Ron Love out of Detroit. Make sure you guys are adding him. And I was
He didn't
gonna,
say my name with an echo.
oh yeah, DJ Ron Love, DJ underscore Ron Love. Most people don't like it. They say I sound like a ghost, and it it's like someone scratching their fingernails on a chalkboard. They hate when I do it. You know what echo I need to get? You know how Mo won, and I see some of these guys, I think DJ Tila has it. Like, when you talk, it's like it doubles, but it's not like an echo like that. It kind of, I don't know how to explain it. It's like airy.
Hmm,
Like, I'll say a
I
word
don't
and then
know.
it kind of silently says after. I got to get that echo. I don't know which one it is, but anyways, we'll figure it out. So I'm
Um,
just
you,
wondering if
let
you
me say,
can.
you had mentioned something about being a hypocrite. I want to explain something or say something about that.
Mhm.
So oftentimes people think being a hypocrite is is acting, well, church folks would say, well, I don't want to be a hypocrite because I don't want to, come off as one way when I'm another. But being a hypocrite is not admitting that you have flaws. Being a hypocrite is acting like you don't have flaws. And
Hmm.
so people think that, they're a hypocrite because they did this and that and the other. No, the hypocrite is a person who act as if they never mess up or they never sin or whatever. That's the hypocrite.
That's interesting. Yeah. No, that's very, very true. Yeah. And if we were all perfect, we wouldn't need Jesus, right? Like, I mean, that's why
Right.
we're so flawed and imperfect as human beings. That's why we need him. That's why I need him daily. His grace daily, his mercy daily. But people don't, I don't know, people, I guess, see it very differently. But yeah, I'm just really
Yeah.
fascinated by people that literally give up what they've done to do a different route, like, especially when it comes to their faith. Like, I'm very fascinated by those stories because it's not an easy it's not an easy road to take, right? Um, but I feel like
It's not.
there's a need in every area, like even on these apps. I see a need like every day when I watch people, right? And I'm sure you probably see that too. If you guys are online, offline, you never know what someone's story is either, right? Or what they're going
Yeah.
through. So yeah, I think there's a huge need, not just delivering music, but like maybe giving a message or talking to, I don't know, just being there for people, you know? So but yeah, so I think we're going to be rating out, guys. Where let's see here. Yeah, we're wow, almost 3 hours. I know I could still chop it up another couple hours. I hope to see you. Hope to see you guys too when you come. I know you're only out here for a day, but hopefully we could try to connect. I think that would be great.
Yeah, we'll try to make it happen. We'll be there a day and
But
a half. So
I'll only recognize you if you have a plaid suit on and a top hat. I'll
I'm
only recognize you if you
gonna
come
have
out
to buy
like that.
one.
Can you imagine
I have to
walking in the
buy one.
Scratch Bastard event with like a full suit on? It is outside under a bridge though, so it's not gonna be, you wanna be comfortable. No snakeskin shoes, no gator shoes under that bridge. Yeah. But,
I haven't even have any snakeskin shoes. You know, I
what?
never owned a
You
pair
live
of
in Detroit,
Jordans.
you should own a pair.
I still
Oh,
haven't
no?
never owned a pair of Jordans either.
Yeah, yeah.
One day,
How you doing,
one of
Fook
these
now?
days, maybe.
Good to see you. We're leaving now. Um, I was gonna say, I don't know
Yeah,
if you could
ciao.
see, but do you wanna is there anyone you wanna raid into? If you can see?
Let's see who's on. Top of my list is DJ
And
Honey Flow.
oh, ooh, I feel so special. You must not have too many people on your list then. No, just kidding. I'm joking. Thank you guys for coming through. I appreciate you. I know my show isn't usually on a Thursday night, so this was kind of a pop up. Wanted to get Ronlove in because I'm booked up, I think, the next month on Wednesdays. So thank you guys for
Oh
coming
wow,
through and for you doing this last minute too on a Thursday. For you guys sticking around for close to 3 hours with us. It was amazing. If
man,
you
I
missed it,
appreciate
catch
you.
the replay. Yeah, I appreciate you too. Catch the replay,
Hopefully,
you
I didn't
guys,
bore
on
anybody too much.
oh, no, not at all, not at all. Definitely. You should definitely start speaking on your streams more, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a talker. I'm not a big talker. Um, yeah, I guess that's it. And so here's the
Yeah.
thing too about DJing. I've experienced DJs that I thought talk too much because typically I'm there mostly for the music. But then I think as time goes on, as you start to get to know people, then yeah, you might want to hear them more. So I find it's a tricky balance for me of talking too much and not talking
Mhm.
enough. I haven't figured that out yet. There's a few things on Twitch I haven't figured out yet that I'll be trying different things just to see what works better.
I think there's no formula. Like, you know me, I'm yappy. I yap the entire time. So, like, I don't know if there's any formula, you know? Um, sometimes you talk, sometimes you don't, sometimes, you know? So I'm not, I don't think there's a magic formula. You just kind of do you or do what works best for you. How you doing, the
Mm,
ambassador? Good to see you as well.
looking at some of the comments,
And
yeah. Shout out to
we
the
got
ambassador.
Fuknet as well. Good to see you. Yeah. So yeah, just kind of continue to do you. Let's
Advertise for
see. Okay,
drops.
so
I'm not sure what that means.
I don't
Advertise for drops.
yeah, I'm not sure either. What does that mean, Fukna? You said talk anyway, advertise for drops? I don't get it. Yeah, DJ Jonathan Lewis says, exactly, do your thing. Yeah, some people may hate talking. I've tried
Right.
streams where I'm like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't talk at all because I know it could be irritating to people. But then some people come because they want to hear you talk in your stories, right? So,
That's the thing. I think the
and then
people
some
that
people
talk
come
more
even
tend to
longer.
be more people are in those chats. So for people that talk more, it seems like
Oh,
I
you
don't
mean you
know.
think more people are in chats that don't talk?
No, I think more the people that talk more typically have more people in their chats or that are watching
No,
them.
I
That's
don't
what it
ag
seems
I
like.
felt
I
like it
don't
was
know.
the other way. I felt like it was the other way around, but then again, when my landlord shut my
What?
mic off or cut off my Wi-Fi, then I start getting more rates coming in when I'm, like, quiet like a
Oh
pipsqueak.
wow.
So, who knows? I
It's
don't
weird
know.
because you
It's
got people who are on Twitch and all they're doing is sleeping and they get a bunch of views.
Mhm.
Like, what? Really? But so I don't know. I haven't figured it out.
Well,
I'm
I wanted
still
to do
working
a
on some things.
sleeping raid with a bunch of DJs for a joke, but a lot of DJs did not like that idea at all, and I thought, "You guys, it would just be like mocking them, like, it would be funny," because these sleeping streams get, like, 10,000 people, like, they get so
Yeah,
many
that's
and you should
crazy.
see how much support they get sleeping, so I thought it would be hilarious. I don't know if I'd be bold enough because I may forget that, like, you know, like, a video camera's on me and maybe like this in the middle of the night, like crazy, you know?
Right.
Not saying I'm crazy like that, or do I snore? I don't think I do. Or do I talk to
Right.
myself? I don't do those things, but you never know how you look. I don't know. So
So it's
and then you
weird.
may wake up and you're like, "Oh, shoot."
The more I think about it, it is kind of intimate, right? To film yourself sleeping. I don't know if
Yeah, but you know
I
what
want
I
to
would
do that.
do? Yeah, but I would trick people. You know what I would do? It's like a 24-hour stream. I would just keep a 10-minute video of me pretend sleeping and still look, like, okay, right? And then just they would never know. They would never know, exactly, like, basically what it is or what you're doing. And then you just keep, um, like, redoing the 10 minutes. Who's gonna know? Who's gonna know, right? So, I was gonna see. But to get DJs on board, it was a lot of people didn't like the idea. They're like, "Honey Flo, we're DJs. Why are you gonna ruin the DJ culture by doing a sleeping stream? I don't see the point in what you're doing." They did not like it at all. I was like, "Whoa, guys, it's all in fun." Like, I don't know.
But
Anyways.
talk about a blow to your ego, though, right? You got 1,000 people watching you sleep, but only like 5 or 10 watching you DJ.
Yeah, it's true. I just thought it would be like a mock thing, like it would be funny getting a DJ raid
Yeah.
saying, "Hey, DJs could do this better. We could sleep better." Like I thought it would be a hilarious raid because no one's doing and no one copy my idea. No one copy my idea. But I thought it would be a funny idea to do. And I mean, you could wear like a bonnet, put a bonnet on, or you could but it is I don't know, I probably
That
would feel a little bit more intimidated with people watching me, but people really watch you sleep, like, they really, really watch it. I was having fun, I'm like, "When's this guy gonna wake up? Like, is he gonna move? Is he gonna move left or right? Is he gonna shift?" Like, I sat in
fascinating.
there for, like, an hour watching the guy. It was like watching, I don't know, maybe fish, like, in a tank. Like, I thought it was funny, you know? So
Yeah, I do all of that too. Eddie F. I mean Fast Eddie, Eddie F. Wrong DJ. Fast Eddie.
mhm.
I sleep and I mean I talk in my sleep and snore and all kind of things. I think I'll be mortified.
Well,
I should
just put
probably
it
just
mute,
film myself first and then
but
see
just put it mute. Oh,
what
you've seen it on
happens.
TikTok. Just put it mute. Like, put the volume off so no one knows, right?
Is that what they do?
Um,
I haven't really watched it, but I mean that would be the whole experience. I was just thinking about how intimate that is now that I think about it, like somebody
maybe
watching you
I'll pre-tape
sleep.
myself sleeping and see what I
Yeah.
look like first so I'm not crazy. Like, it's better for you because you're
Just
already
record it
married.
yourself first.
You got nothing to prove, but if you're single, I mean, heck, I don't wanna be put myself on the internet, and looking all crazy. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna you know what? You gave me a challenge. I'm gonna pre-record myself and see how it looks first.
See how it looked first and then
And then and then
it might be riveting
I'll
TV. It might be like, oh man, you gotta watch the Honey Flow Sleep Show.
or I thought about, like, putting a cardboard or putting, like, a still image of myself and see if people catch on. Like, I just felt like messing with people or 24-hour stream, and it's like, see if people could tell, you know, that I'm actually sleeping. I'm not really. doing a 24-hour stream. I don't know. Anyways, I thought it would be
Yeah, you're
fun.
cheating. It's cheating.
Yeah, I'm kind of cheating a little bit. And you can't with a priest in the building. Oh, Father Damien says they can find out where you live as they have hours to analyze their surroundings. They can't find out where I live, can they? I don't know. Oh, we do weird things in our
Yeah,
sleep. That's what oh yeah, that's true. I tend to think I
yeah,
don't, but you never know. Um, yes,
yeah.
you
I
could
don't know. I
tell
have
by
to
the
watch
light.
myself first.
Ooh, now everyone should check out a sleeping that's what we should do. We should raid into a sleeping stream right now. That would be funny, right? I've never raided into a sleeping stream. That would actually be funny if we
Things
all
will
did,
fall out. All kind of funny
because I've never
noises and
raided into one.
stuff. Who
Yeah.
knows what you might be doing
Um,
subliminally,
who knows? I don't know.
eating boogers and
Um,
stuff. Who knows?
oh, oh no, that wouldn't be good. Yeah, at all. Any DJs, would any streamers in the chat room be down if I did the stream raid? Let me know. I don't know. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. If Father Damien had his cats, he would just put the camera on them for 24 hours, you know,
That
until
would
they
be
do something
interesting.
crazy like you know how cats can be malicious or whatever they do, like they're on a table and you see them like moving a glass and breaking it and doing it on purpose, you know. Your cats are probably doing a lot more than you think or did before Father Damien. Um, let's
UK
see.
Web Boys
Oh,
say they're in.
DJ Jonathan says you might pass gas while you're sleeping. Yeah, that might not
Yeah,
be
all of that.
very good.
All of that.
Exactly.
Well, that might be why they're getting so many views.
No, I think they mute it. I think that's what they do.
Do they? Oh,
Yeah, I think they mute themselves, some of them. And I sometimes wonder if they're faking. You know what I mean? Like if they're fake sleeping, I don't know. But I can't believe how many subs and everything they get just for sleeping. Like how many
raid
hype trains
trains and
go
stuff.
off just by yeah, just by sleeping, guys. But I just thought it would be cool because I would be the first to do it. I like doing things for the first time on Twitch that no one's done. So that would be my second thing that I've done, a sleeping stream and no one's done it. Watch someone take the idea. I have a feeling because I'm saying it now. But anyways, that would be fun. So we are going to raid out, guys. Did you find someone we could raid into as well?
I don't know. I don't know. It's chat's choice. Maybe someone in the chat have someone they want to raid. We should raid. When I raid people, I try to raid to people who I'm playing the same or similar genre that they are. So,
Hmm.
but I guess in this case it will be another talk show. But I don't
Oh,
have
okay, I see what you mean.
any chat people.
Yeah, I'm just
But one
trying to look
time,
online too.
one time I was in the gospel. I finished my gospel show, and I rated this guy who I knew him because he used to play gospel on Sundays. And I
Hmm.
rated his channel, and he was playing some wretched stuff. I was like, "Oh man, it's like the exact opposite of what I was thinking he was going to be playing."
Yeah,
Because I didn't actually listen to him; I just saw his name. So, "Oh, let me rate him," and it
that's
was
definitely
totally
happened
opposite.
to me lots before
It's
too.
funny.
Lots of crazy stories. Yeah, so I can relate. Let's see. Who do you guys think? Who should we raid? Are you guys looking right now?
So DJ Mamba asked, "Are you guys DJs? Are you talking about us?" Yes.
Or just anyone in the chat. Who do you guys think we should raid? I'm just trying to look. There's lots of people on. Shoot. Tonight. Oh wait. You know what? Oh. What day is it today? You
It's
know what? Okay, I
Thursday.
know who we're gonna raid. I know who we're gonna raid. Um, I'm gonna leave it as a surprise, guys. She's doing an interesting stream. Actually, no, let's see here. I wonder, I think she's on my thing. She's not listening though. Okay, you know what, guys? Let's raid into her. She's been modding for me. She's an amazing. She's usually never on at this time. She's doing random things. Oh, it says a test and Legos. So let's raid into her. It's this girl,
So,
Xtina. This girl, Xtina. I don't know how long she's on there
oh, she's
for, but
streaming.
Yeah, she never streams at this time. So it says like it's a test. So let's raid
I
into
didn't
this
know
girl
she
Xtina.
streamed either. I saw her.
Oh,
I
she
think
does.
she
Yeah.
mods.
She does a playlist
Mm.
show. So let's rate definitely rate into her. Support her, you guys. She does a playlist show every Friday, and it's a lot of fun as well. She's always looking for guests for anyone that's interested in going on her show. Oh, we got DJ Mamba in the building too. Good to see you. Um, so yeah, stick around, guys.
Shout out to all
The
you
rate
guys.
out message you can just copy here. Do you know how to put the raid emote? Does anyone know how to put the raid emote in Stream Elements? I have the little bees there, which are cute, but I don't know how to put the raid emote in there. Let me know if you know how to do it. So yeah, copy the message, guys. Add the raid emote, and let's raid into her. Now she said her stream was a testing stream, so I just want to make sure she's still on. Like she doesn't leave and then we go nowhere. Let's see. Is she still on? Can you guys see it? Let's see.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's see.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
looks
it's
like
still
she's still
on.
on. Okay, perfect. So yeah, thank you guys for coming through the Honey Flow show. Make sure. Oh, when's your next show? You could tell people that way they can look out for you.
My next scheduled set is Tuesday at 8. Tuesday night, 8 p.m., 8 from 8 to 10. And I don't know what I'm playing. It's an open format. Um, so who knows what I'll be playing. A lot of times I don't
Okay.
know what I'll be playing when I first start, and I'll let the music go wherever. And most recently, I've been taking requests. I've been trying that out.
Nice.
So,
I've
like I
been
said,
doing that.
I'm trying out different things. So
Yeah.
you
Some
might
house
determine
for
where it
Bronx.
goes.
I do that a lot now. That's actually a lot of fun. I love doing it with King Melody and Fukna and some of the guys, some of the people in my chat. I love doing that. And the show just goes like takes like a left turn, you know? But they always have
Yeah.
awesome requests, so it's easy because they know their music, you know? If it was like a lot of other people, I'd be like, I don't know, guys. But them, it's like instant. It's like if I get a big raid in and I'm kind of panicking, like, oh shoot, like what's the next song or what should I play? Sometimes I'll be like, oh hey, what do you guys think? What do you guys think matches this song? And I know King Melody's just gonna bring it. And he's gonna give me the whole list, like exact, like perfect, you know? And I'm like, okay, good, this works. All right, so let's
Yeah, that's
raid in.
that's
Let's see here. We're going to rate her now, you guys. Thank you again for joining the show. Check the replay on YouTube under the live tab, and you could check it on Twitch as well. And thank you guys for sticking around 3.5 hours with us. Make sure you're
whoa.
adding DJ Ronlove as well. Let's see here.
I'm
Okay,
not
I
much of a
think.
talker either.
No, you did great. I'll definitely have to have you back on again and chop it up. Let's see here. Okay, I think the raid is just. Oh, did the raid go through, guys? I'm not seeing it pop up here. That's weird. Oh, it says I have it in progress. Oh yeah, 3 hours. Yeah. So thank you guys, DJ Jonathan Lewis, Bronx Harlem Girls, been with us the whole time. Fukna came in. Um, let's see who else. Everyone else coming. We appreciate you,
Shout out
DJ
to Jonathan
Two
Lewis
Past
again.
Eddie.
Bronx Harlem Girl.
UK,
Hey, wait a minute.
yes,
Bronx or Harlem or both?
UK Web Boy, DJ Mamba, Father Damien. Who else is here? The ambassador, everyone else coming through. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you guys.
Okay,
Thank
let's see
you,
here.
Miss DJ Honeyflow. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you for joining. Definitely. I don't know why the raid message isn't showing up. That's
She
strange.
says
Oh,
both.
okay. It looks like it just went through. Okay, perfect. And which is nice is this girl Xtina is never on at this time. So she just said she was testing out something. So it's nice to be able to rate her. Let's see. I'm going to try re-rating again because sometimes it misses people. So again, this girl Xtina, make sure if you guys don't get on the raid, make sure you definitely just manually go to her, this girl, underscore Xtina, and you'll find her. All right, I think that's good. Okay, I think people are there now. She does some cool
Mhm.
things with Lego, like piecing them together, like Lego flowers and kind of cool stuff like that that no one else is doing.
Hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to try one last time, and I think
I'm
we're
gonna
good.
probably start branching out doing other things.
Yeah, you should. You should do gaming and stuff. I think that would go really well as well. So, all right. Thank you so much. Make sure you get something to eat as well. And we'll definitely be in touch. Message me like when you guys are definitely in Toronto, and hopefully we'll be able to link up. That would be great.
All right,
So,
okay. You
all
know
right.
DJ Shannon?
Yeah, yeah. He's really amazing too. Yeah.
No, she a girl. It's DJ Shannon.
Oh, oh, actually, no, I don't think I know DJ. I know a guy named DJ Shannon.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
She's in Toronto too, but she hadn't been online lately because she had some issues with her setup somehow. Her tech, she says so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't heard of her, so I don't know. Yeah, interesting. So, all right. Well, we'll definitely I'm going to end this live.
Okay.
And we will yeah, definitely be in touch and let me know, and hopefully we could try to meet. I know you guys are going to be busy in that day or day and a half, but hopefully even if it's for an hour or sometime short. I'm closer to Mississauga, so I could definitely drive out to where you guys are at too. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
All right. Okay. Well, great doing this interview, and we'll definitely connect soon.
Much. All right.
Okay.
Appreciate you. Have a good night.
All right. You too. Take care. Peace. See
So,
ya. Take care.
all right.